Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Z. We are back again for another episode of mixing class. So we're gonna learn EQ today. So hopefully we got some people pulling up today. So we're just gonna chill out, let some people show up, and then we'll get right into it. Till then, enjoy some Chachi, courtesy of Soul Studios. Let's go. Why did that go away? Why did that go away? Bounce to the beat, let it ride.
Get ready for the day. Gotta blaze an A. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress in sight. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly. I'm smoking on that strong again. I think I got the munchies. Break it down, roll it up and light it up and have some fun, oh yeah. Break it down, roll it up and light it up and have some fun. Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you're here to have a good time. Bounce to the beat, let it ride. Get ready for the day. Gotta blaze an A. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly. I'm smoking on that strong again. I think I got the munchies. Break it down, roll it up. Break it down, roll it up, light it up and have some fun, oh yeah. Break it down, roll it up and light it up and have some fun, oh yeah. If you came to have a good time, just light it up for me one more time. Yeah, one more time. Yeah, one more time. Yeah, roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you hit that good time. Bounce to the beat, let it ride. Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you hit have a good time. Bounce to the beat, let it ride. I'm a marijuana fiend, all I really need. Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you have a good time. Bounce to the beat, let it ride.
Yo, Lou, what's good, brother? The man's
Shaking
on-
Z, folks. That bass is thin. You need to EQ that up.
Yo, hang tight 1 second. I should be able to hear you, but I don't think I can. It's weird.
You can't hear me?
Let me try this one more time, a different way. Oh, that's probably why. I probably gotta set the speakers.
Might be me.
Let's see if that works. There we go. Yeah, it's
Is it
always
me
a
or
school
you?
setting, man. It's me. It was me. It was my school. You have
it's
to
you.
like,
That's right.
even though I have it all set right on my Windows, you have to still go in and double check the whatchamacallit, the input. And it's weird. It keeps going back to default. Stupid.
Windows 11.
Yeah, but it does it on my other one too. I think it's a school thing, but it's cool. Just gotta reset it. What's up, Abe? Welcome, brother.
Hi.
What's up, buddy?
Hell yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just gonna be background eating and
Just
watching.
gonna wait a little bit, let some people pull up. Audio coming in okay?
No, I don't hear reggae.
Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if
Don't
you
ask
hit
that,
have a
please.
good time. Bounce to the beat.
You said you can't hear it?
I cannot hear reggae at all. I have a disorder where I just hear white noise whenever reggae plays.
It's all pink noise. The bass is thin.
I'm not gonna lie, you got
And
me.
bring up
You
the
said I
EQ,
can't
man.
hear
Let me help
reggae.
you
I said,
out.
okay. It's all right. It's hip hop. It's hip hop. He raps. This is a reggae beat.
It's island hip hop.
Yeah,
Yacht,
that's fair.
yacht rock.
That's fair. I think it's for like a
Yacht
weed event.
rock.
There's some like I forget what it is. They have like some cannabis event over here. He's performing at. So had to make a weed song, bro.
You're kind of quiet, Z.
Yeah. Let me see.
There we go. I think you're just for far away from the mic. Holy crap! I can't talk today.
Yeah, I have it turned down a little bit too. I'd rather be. I'm still kind of dialing this live bullshit in. Let's
Why do you have a track and reverb that you broadcast your voice from?
Because I don't want to deal with it switching between projects. I want to be able to switch to whatever I feel like.
Add
have
an
to
insert
worry
on your
about it.
monitor bus. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
man,
That won't-
I
that
went
won't
down a
work.
whole rabbit hole, bro. I'm doing
That
it
won't work at all.
for reasons. If you can figure out a way to get that to work, bro, I would love to know because, like I said, I went down a huge wormhole, and this was the easiest way I
What
found.
interface do you have?
I got 2 words
I
for
have
you.
a couple.
Patch Bay.
What's up?
Patch
Patch is one
Bay.
word.
Yeah, Patch Bay.
It's
Yeah,
one word.
Patch Bays are good.
It's 2 words. It's
No.
patch and it's bay.
No, patch
I
base
know
one
Patch
word.
Bay is one word, right?
Yep.
2
But-
words. Patch Bay.
I'll fight you for this, Lou. It being one word is a hill I feel is worth dying on.
We'll have a duel.
Perfect.
There you go.
48
Oh, yeah, how
paces
you guys
for all the
doing, man?
patch points in
What's going
a
on with y'all?
TRS patch bay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want all the EQ tips and I want them now.
What do
All
we
right.
want?
Well,
What do
tip
we want?
1,
Now.
be good. Be good. Tip 2, be better than the other guy. Tip 3, record good. Boom. Done.
Google gobble one of us. Google gobble one of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lou's real loud compared to
Key,
Z.
most stuff I was going to go over today, probably stuff you guys already know, so
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
Right,
just,
it'll be
I'm
cool.
here for the ride. I'm gonna be
I
eating.
appreciate it. That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm low-key wondering how many people are going to show up. I'm feeling like it's going to be dead today. I don't know why.
Just
Maybe get
just
those
everyone that
vibes,
already
it's
knows
like,
everything. I just want to see what you're talking about.
What's that?
I just want to see what you're talking about
There you
or
go.
hear what you're talking about. You know,
Yep.
or I guess see what EQ plugins are you gonna use today.
Dude, I was gonna just use the Eel Reliable, man.
Re-EQ?
And maybe like a 1A.
RIA
just to, like, show
EQ,
it. Yeah.
RIA EQ. Yeah, the
You
classic.
guys always say RIA. I don't say RIA. I say Re.
No, because there
why it's
is RE EQ and there's REA EQ. So there's Re EQ and there's RIA EQ.
Abe is right.
I didn't even know that. What's the RE one? What does that one do?
It's
Is
just
it the same-
better.
Let's say.
It's like Fab Filter. It's like a free version of Fab Filter for Let me link it so that way.
One is comes with the VST and the other one is a Toucan JavaScript, as I recall.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I used to
Okay.
use it before Fab Filter. Here, there's a type Reaper REEQ, a first link. I'll post it in the chat though. It's a great
Yeah,
free
this is the one. The built-in one is the one I always use. I mean, I
No,
use a
built-
lot of different ones, but this is a
built-in
good
one.
one.
built-in
I
one
run
is
it
mid.
on all of my master buses, and then what I do is I reset it and get rid of it and move it to analog.
Chat
I do it.
check
I
chat
just
link.
use it as
Yep,
use
I
as a
got you. I'm
quick
pulling that
EQ
shit
just
up
to
right
straighten
now.
out mixes, and then I go back and I
Parametric
replace it with
EQ. It
analog
looks nice.
and turn
Yeah,
it
it
off.
looks exactly like Fab Filter too, which is funny. And it, like the knobs
That's
and
sick.
yeah, it's exactly like Fab Filter.
How
looks
the fuck did
better.
I not ever?
Because the
I've
price
never
is
heard of
better.
this ever.
Well, this
Are
is
you
free.
kidding me? I use it
I'm
every
confused. I
single
thought I
day.
had the repack. I'm pretty sure I have the repack. Why don't I have this?
Well, the repack enables the re-EQ to function as it should. So the re-EQ is a different
I'm
add-on.
just pretty sure I have that. I'm pretty sure I have that installed already. Is what I'm confused about.
Yeah, but the EQ itself is a separate plugin. It's not
Yeah,
part of
I
the
put
repack.
it,
You need repack to run it.
yes, you do.
Oh.
And I put it on my TCP and my MCP as a quick fix. And then what I generally do is I will change out to an analog EQ to match it because, well, these EQs suck. I don't like parabolic EQs and all this dynamic shit. It just fucks up your mix.
See, you have
Yeah, and then what I do is I'll change it out to something like some type of analog, uh, you know, um, something like analog obsession or something, and or one of the old school EQs and analog fix it, and then I'll turn off the parabolic or the dynamic EQs. I'm not a big fan of dynamic
Z, do you have Pro
EQs.
Q4 or 3?
Yeah. I
It's,
honestly
li-
don't use it that much, but I
it's literally
do
exactly
have
the
it.
same. It's just a free version. It's literally the exact same thing with the
Yeah, I mean, I'm
UI and all
fucking
that.
down with that.
Actually, this
I'm
is
down
better
with that.
because it has less overhead.
You know, save
Well,
me
I
shit with
actually
that.
utilize the full feature set of Pro Q.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm not paying for that crap.
It has a built-in dynamic and spectral, which I love.
Yeah, that's gangster shit.
Oh, speaking of EQ,
I
you know
want
what's
to get
crazy?
more into that kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
like
Z,
I
you know
know
what's crazy?
Pro Q is supposed to be really good, but what'd you say?
Yeah, so it's funny you do today's EQ day because today Black Saw Audio released a new plugin that's like an EQ, and it has no labels on it. It's just gain and then frequency, but it doesn't even tell you what frequency you're at. It's just meant for you to just use your ears. So there's 4 EQ bands, I think, right, for the main EQ. It's four bands. One is just gain up and down, and then one's frequency up and down.
Hey, Abe, can you turn your mic down about 3 dB, please?
No,
All right, to make it 4, asshole.
I'll turn it up for you.
This guy. Hey, Z, poke him in the eye, will you?
What's up, play?
Is that
Look him in the
better?
eye.
That's too much.
I don't think I can reach his eye from where I'm at.
Is that better?
That's beautiful. Perfect.
Okay.
Buddy. That's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah. How
My
many years
neighbors,
does it take to get my game?
my neighbors don't
Right.
understand a word you're saying.
What about this?
That's too much.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, shit, I'm gonna install this real quick while waiting. Oh, it's just the.
As far as I'm concerned, the
JavaScript.
only EQ out there that's actually worth paying for more than all that fab crap. I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, I'm not buying that crap, but the Kirchhoff is tits, especially for mastering. That Kirchhoff blows the Pro Q away when it comes for mastering chains. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I've seen it as little as $100 or $90 at one point. Next time I see that come around on a Black Friday or whatever, and got the funds to do it, I'm buying that. That's the only one out there that's paid that I have ever seen or used that is actually worth actually paying for.
Oh, Z, speaking of EQs
That's
today,
That's my opinion.
it's funny is I use a $200 plugin of an $8,000 EQ hardware EQ. So it's an $8,000 hardware EQ that I paid $200 for the plugin for, that I only use the widener for my mix bus.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that last time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, man. I mean, sometimes you pay a $2,000 knife just to cut the tips off a carrot, man. Because that's
Sometimes
the type of gangster
I use EQ. Sometimes it's just for like a problem fixer on the mix bus.
My crazy ass just uses panning. Call me
Oh,
crazy.
It's so
Same
funny
thing.
because I've like experimented with a lot of widening stuff, and I've had buddies be like, "Dude, look at this widening technique that I do," and I'm like, "I don't like it. It sounds phasey." I don't
No,
like
it phases.
And it's
It
like,
makes it
I almost
fuzzy. It makes
always
it
go back to
fuzzy.
like,
It's-
yeah, I almost always go back to just like a
adds
super
some
tight manual
strange
delay or a super
coloration.
tight like manual multi-track thing.
Oh yeah,
that'll,
like you flip the left right and then the flip the phase and bring the faders up. Yeah, the classic.
Yeah, and then like maybe stretch it just a little bit here and there depending on like what parts and stuff.
Ooh, okay.
I'll almost like tune the phase basically, if that makes sense. Like not like using science, but just using my ears, and it helps
Not
a
using
lot.
science, but using my ears. It should be a shirt for audio engineers.
Yeah, there you go.
You can take two
Yeah, I'm
mono
sure
tracks.
there's some like phase coherency way to like monitor that type of shit. I don't do anything fancy like that.
I wonder if you then EQ the phase or one of them with linear phase.
Definitely, I do that.
Okay.
So I'll do like, I mean, that's funny. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about with EQ is just like notching, you know?
Are you gonna go over
But, like,
linear,
specifically
logarithmic,
with-
linear? What are you gonna go over all those?
Nah. I
No,
mean,
just maybe.
probably not, bro. To be honest, dude, I'm just trying to keep it fucking super simple. Like lows, mids, highs.
This is a
Get
shelf.
that? And that's
This is a
it.
shelf.
Like, yeah.
This is a okay.
Yeah, literally, like
what
the most
about- are
basic
you-
of basics. And then if people are ready, we can go further than that. But
What
I
about?
feel like
'Cause-
low key, the ear training part is like the big part that I think a lot of people
well, you know,
who,
it's
like,
also a
kinda
good
get
one.
the basics need.
I need you to think about this: the tilt EQ.
The
Hey, Abe, your
or is
mic
that-
went up hot again. It's super loud.
What does that
Turn
mean?
your speakers down. I'm feedbacking into your speakers anyways.
Then I can't hear Z, so if we could balance it out, that would be great. We're
I
engineers.
mean, is my shit like super quiet or something?
Yeah.
Well, yours is quiet, but his is very loud. So if we could
Because I could
split
turn
it,
mine up.
I don't know
I
what
just
mine
don't
sounds
want
like
mine to
there.
be hella loud.
Yeah, because Lou's already too loud for me. So if I have, me down,
Well, I will turn this back down, but right now I have it set for across the board nominal. So yours is very loud, his was weak, and I can't tell you what mine sounds like.
well, mine's balanced in my headphones.
All right. Well, I'll turn around on my monitors here. So it's fine. There we go.
Yeah, like I said, how many engineers does it take to get the game right? The answer's 3.
No, the answer is not enough because someone else is going to
Minimum.
disagree.
There you go. School's being dumb. Keeps turning my screen share off. I don't know why.
Oh, you went back to your webcam.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
I think
I didn't. No, it just like keeps. I'm doing a screen share. It just keeps like. Anytime I do anything on my laptop, it like
Hold
disconnects.
on.
the screen share.
Are you using a VPN without turning on proxy mode?
No, I'm not using a VPN.
I think
I turned all that shit off.
your computer audio is coming through on. I hear myself double.
Hmm.
It is. It's Doppler gang, 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 gang. It's feedbacking so much.
It's weird. I don't know.
I should grab my guitar and we have an analog delay.
Yeah,
I
please
didn't
use
change
it.
anything. Did somebody change something?
I think it's your NZ. I think I'm getting
Keep
the audio from your that you're getting in your headphones is coming through back. Is looping back.
Oh, the fucking speakers are on. Now, dude.
Oh,
Hang on.
that makes sense.
That would be it.
Echo. Did that fix? Mic check.
Much better.
That's perfect. Now I don't hear myself.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out my fucking patch bay, man.
Your one-word patch bay.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
words.
yeah.
Nope.
My patch bay only has one word, for sure. It's gross.
Is it a noise trick? Is it TRS or is it not XLR or TT?
My patch bay?
Yeah,
It's TRS. I'm pretty sure.
quarter inch
It's the
noise trick.
what the fuck? It's the big one that everybody gets. A Samson, right?
Oh, I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone that has that one.
I don't know. It's one popular one that I saw was like the best cheap one
How much was it?
that has
$60?
normaling and all that stuff.
$60.
No, it was like 120.
Oh,
It was a little
that's-
bit more.
No, that's crazy because the one I got is noise trick patch bay and it's $100 running the same thing and it's black and comes with labeling strips.
Yeah,
Is
this
it
was
the
I
Behringer
probably
one?
would have got that one if I would have heard about it.
Oh well, if you want a normal, is it switches on the unit to change it
Hey,
around?
will you please turn down your microphone just a
No.
little bit, man?
Hey, Donald the Master's in the building. Let's go.
Way too loud, brother.
Hell yeah. What's
Is
up,
that
buddy?
better?
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Actually, let me turn back up because I can't hear myself.
What's
now.
good, Donald?
I've had a long day.
Yeah, I'm not
man.
gonna lie, bro. This class is pretty much for you, dog. So take advantage.
Yeah, I might just
Take
leave it.
advantage, man. I was low key getting sad. I was like,
What
man, I
up,
want to teach
Donald?
Abe and Lou the basics. These guys know the basics.
What? Of what? I don't know nothing.
You
Yeah,
know
I
a
was actually
couple
messaging
things.
you
I know you
last
know a
week
couple
about some
things.
ideas.
What is Hertz? What is Hertz?
Hertz, it's a
Me
rental car
when
place. You go, like, if you go to the airport, you're traveling.
Yeah. Now, come on. For Donald, man, he might not know.
oh, you want me to answer for real?
Yeah. Who knows?
Hertz are how
Let's put
many
your knowledge to the
cycles?
test.
Hertz how many times per second air vibrates?
Cycles.
Yes. Yep. Did you know that, Donald? You do now. Yo, you should cam up, bro. You want to cam up, dog? We can do some back and forth. Some back and forths. I don't know if you're driving or something.
EQ while driving.
But yeah, so it's the way I describe it is it's a measurement of cycles that the wave is vibrating per second. So if that's one cycle, right? So it's like whoa, right? And that's
It's
like
per second.
it's interesting
So
if you
if it's
What's that?
60,000, it's 60,000 waves per second.
right. If it's 60,000 hertz, correct. Which
Right.
our ears translate as a pitch. So like
And-
if you listen to your voice when you do like a run, if you go oh, you can hear the individual you can hear your voice.
an
That's
example.
like what's called vocal fry. What's up?
A better example of this. I'm sorry to cut you off, Steve.
No, go for it.
An example of this would be A equals 440. So 440 hertz is what A is at, and
Correct.
then another way to look at it, to look at it musically is like, okay, so A is 440, and then I forget the exact interval between notes, but
It's an
every
octave. Every time you go up an octave, you double it.
or half it.
It's double. So it's
and-
88.
Correct.
It's 880.
Correct.
And
Or-
so on.
or-
So in musical terms, if you were going to go, let's just say this is A for shits and giggles. A, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A. So if this A is 440, this A is 880. Makes sense? And then it goes infinitely in both directions until it becomes matter and it becomes light. But that's something else. So yeah. So typically in mixing, what are the frequency ranges that we typically use? Like when we're looking on this bad boy, like, does it go up to 100 million thousandths, or is it like what's the range that is perceptible by human
ears
ears?
from 30 to 30,000.
No, 20 to 20,000.
30 to 30,000. I can
20
hear
to-
30,000.
20 to 20,000.
There you go. So we
Here's
got
20
some contested answers. So my answer to this is that it depends on the person. It's a spectrum. I would love to see some tests. I would be skeptical that anybody can hear 30K, to be honest.
I can hear 30.
But I'm not saying it's not true. You can hear
I
what?
can hear a Nyquist bounce. Yep. If you take a signal and you take it to 30,000 and you use without using oversampling, I can hear like if you bounce an EQ off 30,000, I can hear the resonance bounce back down as a reflection. I can hear it.
Interesting.
I'm one of the few
I mean,
people
bro,
that I've ever
I'll
met.
take you at
I
your,
know
I'll
a
take you
couple
at your
other
word for
people,
that.
but I can hear it.
Something that's interesting about that too is like the whole what did Donnie Baker call it? The Suzy Lou syndrome. What do you call it? Suzy Q? Anybody
Yeah.
remember? Anyways,
Yeah,
you
something
know,
like
anything above like, you know, around 10K is not going to be super perceptible on like iPhone phone.
The
you know.
typical human being can hear from 30 to 20,000 hertz. Typical.
Do you know what age range that
Most
is? Because
people
I know
can't. Most-
the first thing you lose as you get older is the high end for sure.
It's the high end. That's right.
Really?
Right. Yes, for
Mine's gotten
sure.
better.
Because which
Yeah.
makes sense because like it's more cycles per second. If you're losing sensitivity, it's gonna be at that higher spectrum. Versus like super low, it like the lower the frequency is, the wider that the wave is. So the more it passes through more shit.
Well, there's more energy. There's more energy in your low end. There's the definitive
And it's just
amount-
physically larger as well. It's physically larger,
That's
so it
right.
can go farther, which is why it penetrates through walls and stuff like that. So, like, just
Right.
well, that's why a lot of deaf people can feel bass, but they can't hear it. So they'll
takes
take like a
more
balloon.
energy. The way that
Oh,
it works is
Beethoven.
it takes more
Yeah.
energy at a lower frequency to
True.
make the same decibels that it
True.
would for a higher frequency. There is a
Totally.
equilibrium between a low end and a high end, and every time that you double a cycle, it takes you twice as much power. So a 20 hertz at 1 dB would
He's
take
gone.
at 40 hertz it would take twice as much power to make the same decibel
You
of
got me
1
on that,
dB at 40 hertz. It's simple math.
Well, I don't know if it's that simple, but yeah, no, I got
Sure,
you.
it's double. You can't go times 2. I can't get any simpler.
I mean, I
than
can
that.
a couple times, but if I go too many times, I get confused. Anything past 64, I get a little bit lost.
64
Because
is
yeah,
148.
exponential math breaks my brain.
Minecraft brain.
Yeah, literally. Nerd brain for sure. But that shit matters, man. So anyways, Donald, I don't know if you're still with us, bro, but give me a 1 in the chat if any of that meant anything to you. We're jumping around. We're going to have fun with this one. Yeah, I don't know. He could be there. He could be gone. Could be drove into a ravine, bro. He's like, oh, EQ. Ah! All right. Well, so you guys are crushing it. Good answers. And it's interesting because, like, you'd be surprised how many mixers, like, don't know these things, which is, like, scary and shocking. Like, I knew a couple dudes who went to some conservatory, and I was asking them about this kind of stuff, and they're like, I fucking have no idea. I'm like, what did you pay for, bro? It's crazy. So I guess a good spot to go next would be to, like, listen to some shit, because I think that's probably the best place to start, is to just sort of define, like, because for me, I don't know about you guys, this will be interesting to get your guys' opinion on this, but, like, for me personally, I spent a really long time doing what I thought I was, like, supposed to do. Like, you know, like, let's say, the bass is too boomy, so I'm just going to cut this to 200, like, versus actually listening, like, is 200 what I'm supposed to do, or does it actually sound good? It took me a long time to, like, develop my ears to where, like, I'm actually listening to what 200 sounds like, as opposed to just doing it off what I think I'm supposed to do.
Well, I think like, better. I think you should
y'all.
Start off with, actually, before we're doing listening stuff, is explain what an EQ is.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about that last time, but I just kind of want to see where bro's at.
Yeah,
but
I'm waiting for chat. Donald. Oh, he's gone.
No,
again.
you're good. You're good. Oh, he did. Oh, he's probably fucking with his camera, I bet. But yeah, anyway, so just on that other topic, just because other people are probably going to watch, I don't know how many people, but probably at least 10 or 20 people will see this video. So just while we're on the subject, does that concept resonate with you guys? Like, the whole idea of, like, actually, I mean, obviously you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but listening to it and actually, like, for example, the way that I phrase it that helps me understand it best is, like, in the beginning, I would just kind of, like, okay, it's a vocal, so I'm like, I wouldn't even listen to it. I'd be like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna shape the low end, I'm gonna boost the highs, I'm gonna cut out the boxy mid, you know, at 1K or whatever, like. And I might not even be wrong doing a lot of those decisions.
But you might just.
But I used to just, like,
treating
do
it treat it as like a general EQ, like you would in your car stereo, then as opposed to like a fine EQ, like this is.
What do you mean? I'm not
like
sure I understand what you mean.
Like as if you didn't, like, you just have a general idea of what the low end was and pick a frequency and just go for it.
Kinda, yeah. Like, I guess there was the best way I could word it is, like, I kind of thought I knew what I was doing, and, like, I had reasons for why I was doing what I was doing. Like, oh, there's a vocal, right? And we don't want the bassy low end of the vocal to compete with the bass of the song, so I'm just gonna cut that out. Like, that's a logical thing that makes sense, right?
Yeah, like,
But
you didn't treat it like a parametric EQ. You treat it like a what's the other one? Graphic EQ.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose. Well, again, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. But I guess let me like finish this thought and maybe it'll make more sense. So what I'm saying is I used to do it based on what I thought I was supposed to do as a generic, like, it's a vocal, so I'm going to do this. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, so like
as opposed to being like, how bassy is the vocal? And then going off that. Like, being like, okay, do I hear, cuz, like, for example, right? Like, my voice is not super bassy.
So all or nothing kind of mentality, right? With gain?
Again, it's not really an all or nothing. It's more of like a doing it because I'm supposed to, without thinking about why.
Okay.
And without really listening to what's going on. Thinking that I know what it is versus actually listening to what it is. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So for me, what helped me a lot with that was, instead of just, like, doing what I'm supposed to do every single time, instead of just like, okay, it's a vocal, so I'm going to cut the lows out, or like, it's a bass, so I'm going to boost the bass or whatever it is. Like actually listening to the actual, I know this sounds like it's so obvious. It almost sounds like stupid to say, but it's such a big thing for me personally. Like,
Well, like you would always cut lows, even though you might not need to cut lows.
correct. Or like even more specifically, like let's talk about a vocal for a second. So like my voice is not very bassy. I kind of have this like nasally thing going on. It's just like my voice, right? But if I treat my voice the same way like Chachi, who I had in yesterday, who we're mixing on in this song, if I treat his voice the way I treat my voice, without thinking, without listening, it's going to have a completely different result because his voice has way more bass in it to start with. Then like if I get closer to the mic, the bass is going to be even more. So it's like you need to listen to like, what does it actually sound like? Does it sound bassy because they have a bassy voice? Does it sound bassy because you can tell there's a proximity effect and they're close to the microphone? Does it sound like you need to listen to your ears and actually... So the way that I learned how to do that personally was I would guess. I would be like, okay, I'm hearing this vocal and to my ears, I'm guessing that it sounds like around 100 hertz is popping up or is like there's too much energy or however you want to word it, right? So then I would go and I'd be like, okay, I'm hearing 100 hertz, so I'm going to pull this down. And then I would actually listen, like, did the problem go away? Like, it seems super obvious, but, like, actually getting feedback.
Can we back up a second real quick, Z? Are
Yeah.
you talking about doing this in isolation, in solo, or are you doing this
I'm
in
talking
the
about
context of
period.
the mix?
Period. Doing it, period.
No,
Period,
no,
end of
never.
discussion.
No. You don't use
What do you mean,
EQ
no?
unless...
You don't listen when you EQ? What do you mean?
I mix everything in context.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, brother. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about doing things solo or not solo. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm simply saying that when you EQ, you want to take a guess at what is the problem or what you want, and then you want to actually listen to if what you're doing is fixing or making that better or not. That's all I'm saying.
Generally,
Does that
you
make
don't fix
sense?
vocals with EQ. You fix them with compression.
Okay, I disagree with that, but sometimes you use EQ, sometimes you use compression. So that's actually like
somebody's voice in their EQ, then you're messing with their natural voice.
Yeah,
Why
that's what we do.
Why would you EQ my voice? My voice is my voice.
Okay.
I don't EQ.
I do it all the time. There's lots of reasons you would do it. You would do it to blend it with something else. You would do it to like remove.
No, you
would do it to remove low end buildup from like a shit ton of layers. You would use it if you're recording in like an unideal situation and you have like 20 layers and you have like 1K building up. You might scoop 1K a little bit.
Build the instrumentation around the bass, the kick, the snare, and the vocal. You don't mess with people's voices.
It might not even be the voice. It might be like there's a resonance in the mic whenever the singer sings a certain note.
The idea that you don't EQ vocals is just bananas, bro. Like I can't get behind that in any shape, way, or form. But I mean, that's cool. That's cool for you. That's cool for you, but in this class, we EQ vocals. We EQ lots of things.
You just change their voice. Now it's not their voice.
That's fine. Then don't do it. But we're going to do it here, and that's fine. Respect to you.
It's not like adjusting the form. It's EQ.
I can understand instrumentation in like a piano resonance and using EQ in instrumentation, but people's voices, you want to keep the natural sound of their voice.
Well, the guitarist voice, right? That logic doesn't make sense because the guitar is the guitarist voice, you know. So why touch that? The guitar set the tone, right?
That makes no sense. But I mean, again, to each their own. I understand the argument 100% of you don't want to do it willy nilly. You don't want to overdo it. You don't always have to do it. I mean, again, respect, but like that's just not practical when you're like, for example, dude, last night. We did a stack. We literally did, I think it was 112 vocals for like a chant. Bro, okay. You have to EQ that. You just have to. Like,
that's it? Only 112? I'm kidding.
That's a shit ton for me. Like, that's a lot for me. I think it was probably the biggest stack I ever did. And it sounded pretty good, but it definitely like, and I didn't go crazy with it. Like, I didn't do a whole bunch, but like, definitely on the group bus with all the vocals, I had to cut some of the low. It was just too much. It was too big. Too boomy. You know what I mean?
You stacked 129 vocals on top of each other?
112, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a super common technique for chants. It sounds like a whole crowd cheering. It's badass, man. You never done
Okay.
that? You ever listen to like
I'm
a
very,
Day to
I'm a very
Remember?
simple man. I work in the world of mostly pop and rock, and the one thing about stacking vocals is they lose their impact because basically what they do is it's like stacking the same bass on top of each other. You think that,
But
oh,
it's not the
I'm gonna
same
stack
vocal.
the
That's the key. That's the key to
well, if
making
they're all
stacks is you
different
make them all
vocals,
sound different.
yeah.
That's the
But I
key.
wouldn't do it with EQ. I would do it with compression.
Well, why not use both tools?
You know what Eric
If you're
Valentine does?
messing with well, if you're trying to do like a lead vocal, I try to stay away from
So, like, I
EQ.
mean,
Yeah,
I'll tell you why
crappy
that logic
singer,
makes
that's
no
a
sense,
different
bro. I'll
thing.
tell you why that logic
You
makes
have
no
a
sense. Just in
good
one word, because compression changes EQ, straight up. So when you're
It's
compressing, you're EQing.
Exactly. Right, that's right. But you're not changing the dynamic of their voice as far as the
That's
tone.
exactly what you're doing. That's all you're doing.
You're pulling about out the natural, maybe some grit, that and the other. When you start talking about putting EQ on vocals, the number one thing that happens is it destroys the vocal because you change the overall tone and sound of their voice. So if you were to do that and then put it in through like a compressor, you've totally destroyed the integrity of their voice. It's a fact.
How is that a
That's
fact?
a
Based
fact.
on
That's
what?
not like hyperbolic, kind of like me making. I mean, I just spent freaking $4,000 in the last 3 years learning this at mastering.com. You don't EQ. You don't generally.
Can you give me a reason why?
Because I just told you, you changed.
I know you said
freaking
because
tone of their
it
voice.
changes the vocal, but everything that
It
you do to the vocal
doesn't.
changes the vocal, or you wouldn't do it,
You
right?
can add
EQ also,
saturation. You can add
EQ also doesn't
coloration, but
change
you
the
don't
tone of
want to
change the voice
You
either.
don't
It
want
just
to change the
changes their
overall
frequency and
tone of
sound.
their
Well,
voice.
I understand, but I don't understand. You made a claim. You said that when you EQ a vocal, it destroys it. I'd like to
It
know
does.
where you're getting that from and what you're basing that off of.
Because you have changed the frequency and the natural texture of someone's voice. It's
Yes,
different
I
to
understand that
vocal
an
line,
EQ, but you're not
something
answering
like
my
that
question,
with
brother. I
element.
understand that an EQ changes it, but I'm asking you, like, a compressor changes it, a saturation changes it. So, like, what change is happening that is so negative that you would not want to do it? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Because
I don't understand that.
it masks in matter of fact, this is one of the reasons why I don't like parabolic and I don't like the Pro Q4, like many other people don't like that, and I would never put it on a vocal. Okay, never, I would never do that.
I
And
know,
the
but you still haven't
reason
told me why.
is if you are starting to change the natural the tone of their voice with an EQ, you're
Mhm.
not enhancing, you're papering over, and you're morphing their voice. So
It's
then you
not
have a
changing
morphed
their
voice,
voice.
and
It's
then
not
if
like
you
changing it
try
from
to
like
do
a.
it like compression, now you're compressing something that's fake. I want authenticity, and I also want singers that can sing. That helps. But you're
Can I
going to
ask you
fix
an
them
unrelated but very related question? Do you
Melodyne.
think if a lady wears makeup that she's fake? I might actually agree
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. I don't like women who wear a lot of makeup because they're
Yeah,
they're
but any though.
yeah. No,
Because
no.
what you're
But
basically
my
saying,
whole
here's
point is
my
I
analogy of
don't.
what you're saying.
You
You're
can.
basically saying that any woman that wears any makeup is now it's not her face
You're talking
anymore.
about a physical
And
thing
I'm
versus
making the argument that a little bit of makeup in the right place doesn't change the face, it accentuates the face.
you're
Does that
not
make
going to
sense?
change the pitch with an EQ. You're going to have to do it in Melodyne. That's pitch. That's
Pitch. I'm not talking about
EQ.
pitch. I didn't even mention pitch. I don't know where you're getting pitch from.
That's why if you're going to change something about a vocal, you would change it in the range of pitch as far as like different like pronunciation.
You're avoiding the
things.
question so hard, my brother. I don't understand what you're saying. You're saying that EQ is destructive to the vocal in a way that is not good. I don't know
Yes,
why.
I'm saying
I don't
that's
understand
exactly. I don't
Based on
use
what?
EQ
Just
on
because
vocal.
you don't like it, or because it's doing
It's-
like
it's
what?
short because anything that you do to that vocal after that, you're dealing with something that has been you EQ is destructive. Would we agree?
No.
I mean,
EQ is not
in a
destructive. Come
technical.
on, man.
Hold on, guys, hold on. Let's one mic at a time.
Is EQ destructive or not? Simple question.
Yeah, I mean, so again, if you mean destructive in the
Okay,
sense that
it's
if you mean destructive in the sense of that, does it like, because what my definition of destructive in music is that it does something that you can't go back. And
Thank
so
you.
in that sense, yes, for sure it's destructive. No debate about
Okay,
that.
that's why I don't do it.
But
That's
there's
the
a
reason.
difference
That's the only reason
between,
got
I
it.
mean,
It's destructive.
gain is destructive, saturation is destructive.
It can be destructive. It's not always.
100%. it by definition is destructive. By that definition, you've changed the original signal
If
in a way
I've
that you
got
can't
issues
go back.
that are dynamic, I'm going to change them with pitch using something like Melodyne and compression and saturation.
Why would you change
and I will
pitch to
build-
solve a dynamic issue? That doesn't make sense.
because pitch is different frequencies. We just
Well,
talked
using your
about
argument, Lou. Using your argument,
I'm
pitch
just
correction is
using
worse
your
than
own
EQ.
words.
Yeah, we're
If
just
you're gonna
jumping all
change
over the place.
frequency
Yeah,
to someone,
I'll
this
keep
is all related. But my whole point here is I do not use EQ to fix vocals. It's not a vocal fix. It never has been.
I
It
get
never
that.
will
You
be.
keep saying that, and I totally understand what you're saying. I
You
don't
can go
understand
back
why you're
50
saying it.
years of recording. They weren't EQing people's vocals for the Beatles or for Pink Floyd
Sure
or for
they were. What are
any
you
other
talking
band.
about? What are
They
you
were
talking
never
about?
using
They
EQ.
absolutely
No,
were. What?
No,
Where are you getting that
no.
from?
They were using
I need a
things like
source.
compression.
I need a source, Scott. I need a
compression
source, dog.
And,
I need a
and
source for that.
distressors. They were doing things to break up vocals and such.
Yeah, and they were
But
also
as far
EQ.
as overall, and if they were using anything, the last thing you would use is a parabolic or one of these dynamic EQs on a vocal.
I mean,
That's just bad
I might
spin.
even
That's
cede you the
bad spin.
dynamic parabolic argument. I might even cede you that because
It's a
I don't
analog
use a ton of
EQ
those.
on the way in. But as
Um,
far
but
as
the
in the mix, no.
The idea that it's inherently bad is crazy.
Hey,
What's up, Nico?
Nico.
Yo, we getting heated, bro. We getting into a debate in here. What's good, Nico?
Yeah,
It's
what's
inherently
happening?
bad.
All right.
Bro, we're getting into the nitty gritty. We're debating EQ right now. And Lou is fucking wrong, bro.
Equation.
I love him though.
Equalizer.
Hey Nico, I got a quick question for you. Do you EQ
What's good,
vocals or
Donnie?
not?
What?
Where's
Nico's
Donnie
not a
Baker
mixing engineer, bro. Who you asking?
Dog, I'm a
at? That's
pure
why I'm
artist.
asking here. I want
I
to hear
do a
what
little
you
bit. I
about.
think we're
That's
gonna
why I'm
find.
asking him.
That's
So
why
Lou
he's
said-
trying to
check this
do
out.
those three so he can win his argument.
Check this out. I'm about to teach you guys a class on how to EQ
Alright.
vocals, which Lou says is against the rules. Lou doesn't do that ever, which is blasphemy to me, bro. He's questioning the Holy
Donnie's
Spirit
here
right
now.
now. We don't
I'm
do
gonna
that.
hang up, Don. All right?
What's up?
Donald.
I was on the phone with Donald.
Oh, hell yeah.
Other Don.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
What's
he's
up,
here
players?
now though. So like, kind of moot point.
So okay, so let me go back to the beginning and do me a favor, guys, because we can get into the weeds so easily. Let's not do that just for a minute, just because Nico and Donald, they're newbies, man. We can get into the nitty gritty philosophical of EQ and shit like that. But just for right this second, I just want to get in the super basics. So
I'm a
let's go over
newbie
this.
in.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go over this one more time. So this is for Donald and Nico. So what do you guys know about EQ? Like, let's just start from the bare bones. What do you guys know about it?
Who wants to go first? Don.
I mean, I understand the idea of equalization as in like working with the different hertz and frequencies to drop in, like to raise and low decibels and hit mids, highs, and certain things in that aspect. Not much past that.
Basically, you're using all the right words. So the way I explain it, bro, is like y'all have driven around and listened to music in the car, right? Obviously. So you know how in your car you have that like the lows, the mids, and the highs. You can boost the bass, you can raise the highs up. Just a low, mids, highs. Like that's literally as simple as it is. Like that's EQ. So it's basically you can get more complicated than that. Like when you get more fancy, they have like 16 band EQs and like 32 band, or like these fancy ones that we have now, where you can just fucking kind of do whatever you want. But the basic concept is just like the lows, the mids, and the highs. And in a perfect world, the way our ears prefer it is we like a balance in general. Like again, that's a very general. I'm already feeling the kickback coming, but like, but in general, our ears prefer a balanced sound. And what's tricky about that shit? There's this shit called the Fletcher-Munson curve, and I don't want to get too nerdy, but I just want to explain this because it's really important. Which basically means, like, have you ever noticed, bro, you listen to a mix and, like, it sounds real good in the studio, and then you come home and you play it quiet, and you're like, man, it just doesn't have balls anymore when you play it quiet. But then you bump the shit out of it, and you're like, man, it sounds good again. What's going on? It's weird. It almost like it changes based on the volume. Well, that's because it does. So when the Fletcher-Munson curve basically looks like this, right? So let's say you have an even curve. The lows, the mids, and the highs are all flat. Let's call it flat. So when you get, like, studio monitors, they're supposed to be flat, meaning that they're not boosting the highs, they're not boosting the lows, they're just flat so that you know what you're listening to, right? So you got a flat mix, right? If you turn that shit all the way up, it's going to go like this. So the highs are going to come up and the lows are going to come up, which kind of fucks up mixing for everybody, because basically what that means is, like, if you want your bass to be bumping at a high volume, then when it's at a low volume, it's not going to be as bumping. And that's just facts. That's just science. That's just math. So like we were talking about the Susie Q syndrome that Donnie Baker was talking about. Basically, like you gotta conceive like who's gonna listen to my shit. So like for an example, in classical music, most people listen to classical music on a radio. So they want it to be balanced at the volume that a radio is gonna play. Hip hop is meant to be listened to in the car. Rock too, same kind of thing. Like it's meant to be played on a big speaker system.
No, hip hop headphones car. Sorry, I had to interfere right there.
No, you're straight. But yeah, so like I mean, everybody listens on headphones, right? But like hip hop tends to have more of like hip hop and rock. I would argue like you don't that often see a classical dude bumping it. You don't pull up at the light with the classical. That just doesn't happen as much. And the reason for that is who knows. But the point is like each genre has its own kind of style. Mm-hmm. So like you want to kind of keep that in mind. So if you're mixing for hip hop and it doesn't sound good in the car, it's probably gonna not be so great. But on the other side, if it sounds fucking great in the car, but on the phone it's just not really popping, now you're kind of screwed on both ways. There's a lot of examples. Like there's this 50 Cent song that I'm thinking of that I could play for you guys if you want. But it's a really good example of like when you have a subwoofer, the bass is fire and it's melodic. You can really hear and feel the bass. But if you listen to it on the phone, you can't hear the bass at all, to the point where it like completely drops out. So it's not the end of the world, but it's just like, obviously that song was mixed to be listened to in the car on a big stereo, but like somebody on the phone is going to miss a whole instrument. So the whole reason I bring that up basically is like, you want to listen to like shit that you like, and you want to sort of imagine like, okay, I want my shit to sound like that. So where you're mixing for is a huge thing. So in a perfect world, we want it to sound good on the phone and on the car and in the club. And you know, it's just like that is very challenging as a mixer to get them balanced in all these different situations.
No, it's very easy.
Well, easy for you to say, my guy.
Jumping in on here, Z?
Yeah, please jump in.
Also, it changes in where like the level of where you're at in your career too. So like I think also like something that's gonna be hard to check for later, but that's easy or because you can't really do it, you can't really check. But like if you want to pitch to labels and you want to go commercial, is that making sure everything sounds good through like a PA system or the public that plays music at a Walmart or something, or a Target, those systems.
Right. And they're totally different. Like if you take your mix and it sounds good in the car, like I used to work at a smoothie shop, so every fucking chance I would get, I would bump my mixes on the smoothie speakers. And dude, these motherfuckers are not forgiving at all. Like if your bass sounds like ass, and then it comes through all like the tiley echoes and shit, and it's really so. This is what brings us to the next concept. It's called a reference. You guys know what a reference is?
Yeah. A reference track that you're trying to basically like, all right, that has that. We're going for this basic feel. It's not stealing or jocking nothing. You're basically it's a reference track. Am I correct by that?
Totally. Like, hey, this is the sound and the style that we're.
You're trying to get instrumentation. Let's say like you want a little record, just a little. Like, you know, old 70s record sounds like sometimes you can find in the sample.
Yeah. We call that the vinyl analog sound. Yeah.
Creating a soundscape. So starting there, like that's kind of a way to build. So how do I want this? I mean, you don't want it to be a wall of sound either. You're not trying to be that dude.
Right.
Like
right. So again, that's the big fucking thing is it depends on what genre you're making. And that's my really big kickback to Lou. Like Lou's making a really clinical argument that honestly, it's kind of even hard to argue with what he's saying, because what he's saying is, I'm gonna spit it right now. What Lou is saying is you never EQ a vocal because you're gonna transform, and he's arguing you're gonna damage it. And I don't know. I think that's a hard position, but to his point, like it does change it and it does edit it, and it's like it may or may not be what you want. Like if your goal is to authentically and honestly translate that vocal to a project, then you maybe don't want to do that. But then the other side of that, my argument back, like we're the song that I have open right now is the little reggae track that Chachi did yesterday. And reggae is such a fucking good example of, they do a whole bunch of like against the rules things, and they all sound dope as fuck, and it's like very context specific. So like one example, super common effect in reggae is where they low pass the fuck out of the vocal, and that like radio voice effect where it sounds like coming through a radio. and then they'll like put way too much reverb and delay on it, and it sounds fucking awesome. And that's just like a reggae thing. It's just a thing. And it's like, if you listen to 25 reggae songs, especially the newer stuff, anything after like 2000s and on, they almost all have that kind of sound. And so it's like,
the dude, not the dude for the Beach Boys, the other Michael Love. There's like a Denim. I don't know. You said newer shit. Thinking like,
word.
I don't know. I'm not huge on the. I heard Chachi's reggae track though. That shit was dope.
But yeah, I mean, it's any genre, right? So like, again, if we could talk about boom bap hip hop, right? Like that's something that you fuck with. Like the rules for boom bap are totally different. Like modern trap is very clean. Every drum's in the exact perfect place. Like there's not one little hair that's out of the wrong place. Whereas boom bap is like known for the kick drum like not being the same pattern every time. Which for me personally, like I fucking hate that shit. It drives me crazy. But I love Jay Dilla, so it's like, you know, is Jay Dilla wrong? Yeah, like I wouldn't do that in my style, but Jay Dilla wasn't wrong when he did it, and I like his music, even though I wouldn't do that in my music. So it's like a lot of stylistic decisions.
Why does it drive you crazy? Like, is it a?
I think it's because I came from like when I was coming up in music, I was a drummer, and I was really into metal drums.
Yeah,
and the thing about metal drums is like, it's all super syncopated, you know, it'd be like, and you know, like it comes back around and it repeats perfectly.
It's clinical. It's not jazzy. It has no swing.
Right. And well, but the thing is, jazz and metal are similar in this way, especially like modern progressive jazz, where it's like, or like, let's say math rock, like Chon or like Animals as Leaders. There's all these bands that are more in like the jazzy-ish area, but it's just very like everything is in its right place. And a lot of my favorite rock music is like that, like the Strokes or like Foo Fighters or like Queens of the Stone Age or like versus like Zeppelin and the Beatles. They had a little bit more of that live. It sounded like they were playing live, which again is like not a good or a bad thing. But I just grew up in the era where I was listening to like the Fray and like the Strokes and Foo Fighters, all these like really produced, simple parts, but really produced parts. And it's almost like they're looking at rock songs like a beat production, where it's like every little riff has to be perfectly in its place. That's just what I grew up on. So like when things are more jazzy and freeform and organic and like for example, dude, Nico, that mix that Dylan did for you, where he's automating all these crazy effects like live. And I'm like, I can hear it because I'm like, dude, that shit is not repeating. It has an organic quality where it's like, it's not repeating. And that shit is low-key something I wouldn't do on my mixes, but when he did it, he pulled it off, and it's fucking sick. And like, I was even telling him, I was like, dude, that's like a rule that I wouldn't even think to break. And it came out so cool. And it's like my little criticism of it is like, oh, well, it might not be perfect for like production because it doesn't have that clinical quality. But if y'all did that shit live, it would blow people's fucking minds. And so like the reason I bring that up is it's not like there's no objective right or wrong ever when it comes to this stuff. There's like clinical science and there's rules and there's reasoning behind it, but then it's like you can take all of that and then be like, well, I'm still going to do this because it sounds cool. And that's sort of my big pushback on it is like, if it sounds good, it's not wrong.
It's not bad to go by.
Yes, and again, it's the genre. It's the genre. Like, if you know you're breaking the rules, like black metal, they make that sound as shitty as possible on purpose.
Bro. I mean, honestly, I really did. You know, I didn't have like.
What'd you say?
I kind of let Dylan just do his thing. Like,
word. He cooked, bro.
We did,
he cooked,
like,
man.
We went into it like kind of like there are like, yeah, bro. It was originally just the type of song it is it was one that because when we ciphered at Brick Box outside, it was this whole thing and over that beat, but he wanted to make the beat not recognize. He wanted to get it past copyrights.
That's fucking smart, bro.
Part of what he was doing, so we could get it on Spotify, dude.
Dude, it is what it is, man.
Round 151 remix, bro, and it's just like it's just a fun like it's really just one of the ones where like, look, man, there's a lot in there. A lot, I'm saying, you know, from just lady luck and just the sense of like I've survived a lot of situations. So, you know, I'm trying not to push it anymore, whatever. But you take what you want. But it's faster. It's kind of the fastest I probably rapped in a while. And I just wanted to have one song like that. Like,
no,
just
say less.
There, say less. You know, and then it turned into this like, I don't know, almost electronic. Like, I don't. So it's interesting, dog. Like I'm messing with it. You know what I mean?
It's sick,
I'd
dude.
be down to hear different remixes of it too. You know what I mean? Like I want to, I'm not glued to anything, but I'm excited about it. I think he did his thing with it, and we played around and had fun. And what would you have done? I'm just curious because you said you would have done it different. What would you?
I just wouldn't even have thought to do that. Like that's just like I just wouldn't even have thought to do that. And like that's my kind of my point, bro, is like that's why AI can never replace this shit. Like I mean they can help and they can definitely like replace parts of it. Hopefully like the more boring shit that nobody wants to do. But like at the end of the day it's a style. Like if you like it, it's not wrong. Like literally. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's like, dude, it's not. It's like when Rage Against the Machine came out and the dude fucking took the cord out of his fucking guitar and was like started fucking like DJ scratching with the guitar cord on the thing. Like all the guitar people were like, that's stupid, don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they were like, oh, that's fucking sick. That's how I was, but like it's like I guess what I'm trying to say is anytime you do something, anytime that you do something like opinionated, right? Anytime you do something that's distinct, half the people are gonna like it and half the people are gonna not like it, and that's how you know you're doing something good. And I'm not saying like that. My whole point with EQ is there's not a right or wrong answer. So it's like you can do things clinically and get a clean mix, or you can do things like more raw and get a fucking raw mix that's super fucking dope. And sometimes, depending on what genre you're in, the raw mix is going to get more love than the over clinically mix. It's context.
Right. Almost like it's beyond EQ. That's just you adjust to the situation. The song, if it makes sense to have it be a certain way, the artist likes it like that, then yeah, you know what I mean? If it's meant to be, you want to hear the lyrics simple, straight through. We don't need to do no bells and whistles and shiny ass shit, nah, it can be just classic, whatever. But then sometimes you want to have fun and experiment. So it's or whatever classical music, like you said, or it's adapting to having being able to know how to do all those things, even if you aren't going to do them all the time, but having the knowledge at least to know what it is. I mean, you can add little bits and pieces and sprinkle that shit, season it into other things, and then you're able to make. It's not like one genre or the other. You're able to make music that transcends that, And it's
Can I give an example? Can I give an example to this?
That's the last.
Go for it, Abe.
Yeah. So.
Well said, Nico. I agree, dude.
2 or 3 years ago, I did a record that was a metal covers, like 5 metal covers of theme songs from shows across Adult Swim.
Sick.
And so part of what I relate Adult Swim to is kind of that like indie homemade DIY vibe. Nothing's perfect, right? Like either the animation would be terrible, or the voice acting would be terrible, or like something would always be off with you every show, right? And so to complement that, every mix I did was completely different and was bad in its own way. And that's like as a homage to the style and the aesthetic of.
Yeah, that's punk rock. That's punk rock. We're gonna do it wrong on purpose because fuck you. That's why.
Yeah.
Like that's gangster shit. That's musical, and so it's like it's so much context, bro. And it's so funny because like what was punk rock? Like, dude, when jazz came out, that shit was punk rock. Everybody was like, it's the devil music. They're grinding on each other, and it's against Christianity. And it's like, and now it's like, dude, jazz is like old people music.
They're smoking reefer.
Yeah, exactly. Reefer madness. Yeah, exactly. And now it's like, it's so funny. The song I'm mixing now is like literally all about weed. It's just so, and it's like, this is like a mellow song. People talk about like heroin and like smoking meth and killing each other. And it's like, I don't know. So it's all context, man. It's all like how it relates to the time period and it relates to the genre. And I just think that's so important. I can't drive that home enough because it's like you as the engineer, you always get you and the artist, depending on if they're in the room with you, which pros and cons, right? But like, if it's your song and you're the engineer, at the end of the day, it's your fucking choice. If you like it better, boom, that's it. There's nothing else to it. So anyways, yeah, at the end of the day, there's no wrong answers unless you EQ your vocals and then you're wrong, according to Lou. But again, that's the thing is like, that's the way Lou mixes is he's not wrong for that. I disagree. It sounds like blasphemy to me, but he explained his reasoning to me and I'm like, okay, I get your reasoning. That makes sense to me. And so it's like, for example, another example,
else, but I'm not messing with the shining star is the vocal. I will do a lot of things to it. I'll melodyne it. I'll compress it. I'll do a lot of things to make it genuine. Everything else I can mix around that vocal, but I don't want to mess with the star's voice because then it's not their voice. That's just the way I was taught. I believe it. It makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not saying that there's not a time where you might need to do a little bit of, a low pass to get rid of some mic bullshit in a
Now
track
we're
or
talking.
something like
Now we're on the
that.
same
And I'm
page.
not
That's
messing
all I
with
needed.
their voice.
That's all I needed, bro. I just needed you to say we cut a little low off. That's all I needed, bro.
No, I
Okay.
cut out the high end. I cut out like a fuzz or some feedback or floor noise out of it. But I'm not going to go anywhere where their voice lives. Never.
So that I overall agree with. So okay, we've come full circle, bro. So like, when it comes to
Not
EQ,
really.
you
I'm
you
not
wanna.
EQing the voice. I might be EQing part of the track. There's a difference.
Oh, you don't. So you don't low pass the voice then.
I'm not going to hit the voice. I will cut, like, if there's like some type of fuzz or hum or something in the track, not in the vocal range, not between their 100 and their 4 or 500 zone or 6, 7, 800, depending upon what their range is. I'm not going to do anything in an EQ in their vocal range. If there's noise or background noise, or if it's a live thing and there's a bunch of like bass or like guitar in the track that's not in the actual vocal, I will low and high pass that out. But I do not mess with the vocal, the actual
I got you.
range of the
Okay,
vocal.
well I misunderstood.
I do not touch that.
I misunderstood. I disagree with you again, but that's okay. That's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, but to his point, somebody's feeding back a little bit. I don't know who it is. Somebody's mic is doubling up. But there we go. Appreciate you.
Yours.
But yeah, so to his point, like a lot of people, and this is true with pretty much everything in mixing, a lot of people learn the basics and they just fucking way overdo it. And you do want to be careful. Like I do EQ vocals and I'll actually get what I would consider to be like pretty fucking aggressive with that shit. But you definitely like less is more when it comes to just about anything in mixing. So okay, I think we should like maybe get into some actual EQ shit now. So before we go any further, is everybody kind of on the same page with what we've said so far? Cool. All right. Nobody
No, let's
crying,
start
assuming
over.
is good.
Can we do this over? I missed all that. Can you start? Hold on. You gotta go. Hold on, man. Can we start over? You lost me.
No worries, bro. I'll see you next week.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're good, bro.
That was high.
So there you go. so first thing I want to just cover is like we were talking about lows, mids, and highs, and then we also talked about hertz. Did you catch the part on hertz, Nico, or do you want me to catch you up on that real quick? I think you missed that part.
Repeat that.
So hertz, like whenever we talk about EQ, like you see these little numbers at the bottom of the screen where it says like 50, 100, 200.
Make it big.
Yep.
The
Yeah, sorry, I can't make it too much bigger.
No, I can do it.
that's
I
what she's
can
like.
do it.
But
All right, to your point, what's up?
so you see these little numbers down here. So like
Yeah,
anytime you're
cool.
fucking with EQ, this is just how we measure sound. So
Yeah.
or frequency, I should say, not sound, because that's a little bit vague.
Yeah,
But
man.
so frequency,
I mean, you have this basically on your phone. You can mess around with your
right?
You know, I get what you're talking. Yeah,
So-
I've done
so-
this before at
So
home.
these numbers down here, we call them hertz, and 1 hertz is basically 1 cycle per second. So 200 hertz is
Now I
200
got
cycles
it.
per second.
So
Does that make
for-
sense? And so like the way that translates is
Yeah.
like anything, like, so this is what I'm trying to explain. I want you guys to just get like a ballpark for what the fucking numbers actually mean. So before we go any further, like, does anybody know, I want to ask you guys, does anybody who's not an engineer wizard in here, does anybody know where we consider the lows, the mids, and the highs to be? Like what numbers those are? Like, so I'm gonna throw it out like this, like,
I do not.
Fuck.
okay.
Or excuse
Oh, it's
my
all good.
language.
That's what we're here for, to learn. I'm gonna help you guys out. It's very helpful. So here's how I'm gonna just teach you guys in 5 seconds how we're gonna learn this, because this was a big game changer for me when I first got into this. I was EQing for like 2 or 3 years before I did what I'm about to do with you guys, and it completely changed my perspective on how to hear the shit. So I'm gonna play this. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Okay.
Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high.
Is that coming through good?
Put your hand.
Everybody can hear that good?
Crank it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do a
Let me
couple
see
CB.
I can only let me judge it actually off of looking at the volume here too. because that would be
Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high.
All right, so does everybody have like decent speakers? I know you're on your computer.
I'm
Nico.
on my laptop right now personally, but I have speakers.
You got any? You don't got any headphones, perhaps?
Oh yeah, I got my nice. Hold on.
Just because for the bass, it really helps to have the headphones.
Cha-cha. I got
But
my-
no worries, we'll be able to do it either way.
Bas,
But
whatever they're called, those bas. What do you call them? Bossy.
the boss.
I'm doing all my mixes with a Bluetooth mono.
Ugh.
Yeah. What do you say?
That actually is gangster. I'll check my mixes on a Bluetooth mono sometimes, but I don't mix on a Bluetooth mono. That's Kendrick's engineer does that. He mixes the whole thing in mono. Pretty
Oh,
dope.
what did you do?
Well, 50
He
Cent
mixes
used to
the
do
whole
that.
entire track in mono, and then he doesn't do any stereo, like any left
Really?
and right, until the very end. Yeah,
Okay,
which is pretty
so
smart.
he gets the song pure first,
50 Cent used to
basically.
do that. I
and
don't know if he still does it. But
messes with. Let me plug this in, man.
Who used to do that, Lou?
50 Cent.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for hip hop, I think. Where you want that super fucking strong.
As far as your foundational mix and getting your balance, yeah, but not your final mix. And
Of course. I mean, they don't do it for the final either, but
They
you
do
know,
it
just
for
so
the
you're building.
foundational to get their balance and down the center right. Then
Right.
they decide what they want to do to spread it out. And I do work like
Exactly.
that. I do it in stereo. I don't do it in mono.
Word.
I do the same type of thing. I just do it in stereo.
So, all right, everybody ready? I'm going to play this, and I'm going to show you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys the lows. I'm going to show you guys the mids. I'm going to show you guys the highs of the whole entire song, just so we can kind of get an idea for, like, what that actually means.
Put your hands
All right, so here comes the lows.
up, have a good time. Bounce to
Let me
the
cut
beat,
this
baby,
peak
Roll
peak
up
boy.
the Dutchie, let's get high.
So I'm just going to slowly cut all the highs down. So there goes all the highs. Here goes the mids. That's like very low. It sounds like it's underwater, right? Sounds like you're in the club. And the reason it sounds like that is because that's like the way our brains perceive it, which is really important because a lot of this stuff is your perception. So like in real life, the only thing that can go through walls is the low frequencies. So that's why like it sounds like you're hearing a party from the next room. Because when you're in real life and you hear a party from the next room, you're not hearing the highs, you're not hearing the air of the room, you're not hearing the of everybody's breath. You're literally just hearing the going through the wall, right? So whenever you want to make that effect, that's how you do it. And that's just like a really good good way to remember like what that sounds like. So is everybody kind of paying attention to like these numbers down here? So for me, when I first was learning this,
Let me see.
I kind of
I'll
thought
have to
like I
come
would
back
consider
for that. Just because I'm on the phone, so it's a little harder to see the numbers. So I'll
Say
rewatch
less.
it.
Say less. No worries, bro. No worries. We'll put the replay up right after this.
Should we be
And,
writing? Like, I know this is dorky as hell, but should I be writing this down? Like, it's just
It's up to you, man. Like the way I'm trying to teach it, bro. I'm really trying to teach it to where it's real simple and obvious.
Yeah,
To where
that's
you
what
shouldn't
it's
have
for
to
dummies,
write
you
shit
know?
down.
For like,
You might want to write down hertz. I don't know, cycles per second. That's
Well,
like a
I
good thing to
remember.
remember.
I know her. It's just kind of me for it. It's what gets lost in translation and figuring out the definitions
Yeah.
of things I know that I
For
used
sure.
to do. You just don't know
So-
the official names. Like you're
Yeah,
basically.
you know exactly, and I'm big on that. I'm big on like teaching. As long as you know the concept, you don't need to know the name,
exactly.
but it does fucking help.
Exactly.
So
No, I would
after
love
this
to.
class, dude, I'll write like a little cheat sheet for you guys. And there's already all of this stuff is in the mixing 101. Literally everything I'm talking about is like word for word in the mixing 101.
Yeah,
But I'll make a
yeah,
little
yeah.
cheat sheet after this shit too. But okay, so before we go any further, I just want to drive this concept home. So like when I first started mixing, in my mind, like this was lows was like, let me play it one more time. Was like really like 200 in my mind was lows. And like now I kind of consider this all like lows, low mids. What do you guys think? Abe, Lou, I don't know if Don, if you want to chime in, but what do you in your mind, like what do you consider lows, like from where to where?
80
It's the concept of
to
80?
Context
That's so
of it.
low.
well, there's some
So,
lows
it
too.
depends on the type of genre. that you're-
150 and below.
150 and below? That's
Low.
very low
I class
in my mind.
I class lows and sub lows is different.
Yeah,
thing.
but then you get into the low mids, bro.
I'm thinking
And
120
see, that's what I'm
is
saying.
low.
That's so like if you broke it up into 3 highs,
three.
mids, lows.
500 and below.
Yeah, 5.
Okay, see that would agree with about that. So like I initially thought it was like 300 and below, and then I was like, why are all my
think
fucking
500
mixes
is a
all
little
muddy
high.
around 500? And I started to realize like, oh no, this is like to their point. You can think of when you start getting deeper, you start to break up the low into sections. There's like, you know, like upper lows or medium lows, however you want to call it. There's lows, and then there's like sub bass. So like literally sub is like anything like down here. I don't know. What do you guys consider sub? Like I would say like anything around 50.
The higher
35.
range of a bass guitar is going to be in the neighborhood of 400 around at your highest level. So anything 400 or below on like the highest bass note that you can have is going to be in the 350 to 400 range. So that's a bass guitar. So that's as high as it's going to generally play. It's just just guesstimating. So anything 350, 400 and below, I guess, would be technically low.
Word.
Right?
So real quick, you see how all of us have mixed for a long time? I don't think any of the 4 of us have mixed any less than like a decade. I don't know about Abe, but because I'm pretty sure Abe's the youngest one. But I'm pretty sure the motherfucker's been mixing for a minute. How long have you been mixing, Abe?
Coming about a decade.
Yeah. See, I could tell just by talking to you motherfuckers. But yeah, so like, and look at we all kind of gave. Yeah, and Meek, I got you on a cheat sheet. Don't even trip, bro. But we all kind of gave different answers, which I find really interesting. So again, it's like there's a lot of people that'll say this is the facts. It's lows is this and low mids is this, and it's like you'll build your own ears and palate for that. But we can all pretty much agree that like somewhere around here would be like the lows, right?
100%.
Cool.
That's
So
definitely low. Yes.
yeah, it's low. It's low. So let's hear what that sounds like one more time. So that's all we're hearing is only the low frequencies. That classic
I can't see that,
club.
but I'm guessing that's cut around 450 at the very low end at 0 dB.
Yep. What? Why
Or
is not?
excuse
There we
me,
go.
null.
I'm like, why is my guy not adjusting?
Not zero.
All right, so let's reset this guy.
Bounce to the beat, let it
All right, you feel how much brighter it gets. So we use a lot of these words like bright and warm and dark and blah blah blah, and those are all just like contextual words. But we'll cover all that shit. So going forward, so let's hear what the highs sound like. Let's hear just the highs. So that's all the bass in there. I'm gonna cut the bass. Just slowly pull it up. Let me wait till it comes in.
roll up the Dutchie, let's get high.
So boom, just cutting that. I don't know if you guys can hear, but that lost a ton of low end just cutting that. Like the low bass is all gone.
Beat, let it ride, roll up the
There's the bass. There's almost no bass. It's crazy. So let's keep cutting. So boom, all the lows are basic. Like in my opinion, all the bottom heavy end is gone at this point, based on these headphones. And I haven't even cut 500 yet. Right?
Notice
So
how
keep
all
going.
that energy moved to the middle and to the high. So as you cut the lows, that
Sorry,
energy
say that
has
again,
to
Lou?
go somewhere. I said, notice when you did that, that energy has to be used somewhere. There's a definitive amount of energy in every track. If you cut that low end out, you'll notice that not only is it getting brighter in the middles and the highs, that energy has to gravitate somewhere. So it's going to get louder in your mids and your highs because as you cut that bass line, you have sucked all the energy out and it has to go somewhere. So it's going to start on the low end and it's going to trickle its way upward until that energy is used up through your entire frequency range. As you cut the lows, your mids and then your upper mids and your highs are going to get naturally louder because that energy has nowhere to go but there.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, Bubba.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would
Yeah.
be true. That would be true if my EQ was before my mastering, but it's not. So like the way I understand EQ, and this is fun to have you guys because I feel like I'm getting tested. But the way I understand EQ and the way like most things in mixing, it's literally just volume. It's literally just volume. So we're just grabbing literally just specific ranges of frequencies and we're bringing the volume up or down. So right now on the screen, I'm showing you guys.
You'll see it because it's energy. The energy does move on a VU meter. The VU meters before it will show the energy transfer. So the energy will.
So I don't understand. How does the energy transfer if we're getting rid of it?
There is no transfer. It's just
as you're
reducing.
pulling. If you have an amplifier running at whatever it's running, and you are going to cut those lows, there is a certain amount of energy that is going to transfer into the lower mids and the mids and the frequencies, and some of it is going to be moved and transferred because the power that your amplifiers or in your track are going to move, not entirely, but they are going to make a shift. That's why when you
what amplifier? I'm confused what you mean. So like in this So in this particular case, I have my EQ at the very end of my entire master track. So there's no amplifier on the other end of it.
But the energy in the track has to go somewhere. So if you were to put
it's kind of like what you're saying. What I'm understanding what you're saying is like, if I turn the volume down, the energy has to go somewhere. It's like, well, yeah, it went down because I turned it down.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you want to be careful, like in your mixes where you don't want to put too much bass, because then you have nowhere to reuse. If you use up all your energy,
True.
you put too much low end, you don't have anything to
You're
work
talking
on
about in the context of a mix, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, so and Lou is completely correct in the context of a mix, but we're not talking about that right now. You're going to confuse my newbies. You're going to confuse my people. But he is spitting facts. He is spitting facts. Ask me about that again later when we're in the context of a mix, and I'll explain what he's saying. Because it's true. If you have everything pumped to 0 and everything's still pumping to 0 and you cut this is going to have to kind of go up to match that. But like that's later when we get into mixing. But anyways, so let's keep going. So let's play this real quick. So boom. In my mind, right around here is the highs. You guys agree with that?
Oh, you're still in the high mids, bro.
Yeah, high mids. Okay, but do high mids fall under mid or high if you had to pick one?
5,000 and above.
Right there, I would call that higher than mid.
I would say 4K and above.
Okay.
I would say 4K and above, or 2.5.
What was your answer, Donnie? You said 5K?
5K and above is highs.
Word.
Yeah.
You're right at the high mids.
We all got differences, man. And they're probably right because I'm going off my ears, not off of science. I taught myself this. So I could totally be wrong on this one, but this is my logic and thinking on it. So it's cool to have you guys give your opinions on it. So
high mids are from 2K to 6K.
Okay, but we just want to do lows, mediums, and highs. We're gonna confuse everybody. You're right. I don't disagree on that. But I just want to do just the super basics, just so we can get a basic context, and then we'll get into the more detailed shit.
They are the higher frequencies. If that's the answer you're looking for, yes, that's obviously the higher frequencies.
Yeah. So just let's play it one more time so you guys can hear what it sounds like. So it's like all hi hats.
I'm on a pod right now. Sorry. Yeah.
It's all hi hats. It's all like the top end of the snare.
It's
all like the high, like all that. You can hear it.
It's like when you get a speaker from Temu.
Say again, brother.
It's like when you get a speaker from Temu.
Yeah, literally. It's got just fucking no lows, no mids, no upper low mids, whatever you guys want to call them. Nothing. Just literally all.
The rhythm electric guitar. You can hear the tweaking.
Right. So now let's do just the mids and see what that sounds like.
Let's get high. Put your hands up if you're here to have a good time. Bounce to the beat, let it ride, roll up the Dutchie, let's get high.
Oops.
Put your hands up if you're here to have
something like that.
And see, what's that called when you cut all the lows and cut all the highs?
Pan pass.
Say it again, brother.
Oh, my bad.
Never mind.
I got excited.
What happened?
Gabe jumped in.
So what is it called when you something lows and highs?
Cut all the lows and all
the
highs.
We'll get there. We'll get to the terms. I want to make sure we just make it like Patrick Star simple for everybody.
This is the perfect example, though. It's called a band pass filter. And the reason it's called that is because you're only allowing a certain band of frequencies to pass.
Right. Correct.
So you can change like low pass or whatever. You can change it from a band to
yeah, but see, everybody's eyes are glazing over. You guys are killing my people.
Just make it easier for you.
I'm on here. Look, man, I'm just enjoying the show, bro. I'm just
like backstage pass, man. I want to see backstage pass right now.
Bro, I'm just watching. I'm watching three goats just fucking ran. I
want hookers and blood. Dude, I love it.
Bro, I'm just like, all right.
I love it, bro.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
set up
I've got
now.
three different like doping opinions, so I'm like, all right, word. I'll take
This
off.
it's actually helpful though, man,
No,
because this is
fair,
a reality. This is how this shit
hey,
is, man. Like, get 4
I know
engineers in a room and get them to
that's the
agree. Good
thing.
luck, bro. You'll be there all day.
Craig Schumacher here.
Oh, there will be fist burn. There will be fist burn.
But we overall agree. We overall agree.
You know what's so funny? This whole time I was gonna say, but I just wanted to watch because it was funny as fuck. Like I understand the metaphor of what everything you guys are all saying. It's very like, thank you guys though for dumbing it down for us. You know.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man.
It's like, but do you call it a low pass or a high cut? Come on.
Yeah,
I don't really use that terminology because I'm dyslexic and it fucks me up, bro. I have to sit there and think, wait, high cut, low pass. I have to like do the math in my head because I'm so stupid. So I'll just be like, I'll just lower some lows. It's just easier in my brain.
It's a low cut filter.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, retardation, it kicks in strong in the moment, bro. Like, when I'm moving quick.
What is a low cut filter?
The high pass filter where they should be shot.
What is a high
What's
cut
that?
filter?
See what I'm saying?
You
see what I'm saying?
That's
you
crazy.
cut the highs, Lou. Come on, man.
That's a crazy.
So okay, so since we're going here, let's go here. All right. So what the fuck are we talking about? So if you guys look right here,
high cut and low pass. That's what
you see where it says type low shelf right here on the EQ.
Not yet. Hold on.
Right here on this little drop down guy.
Low shelf. Yeah. All right. We're
so
in master track,
the way that the Reaper EQ comes built in, it kind of has this shit preset up for you. So if you click on this high one, the high one's automatically going to be a high shelf. And what a shelf is it basically is a flat thing that brings it up. Let me play it in the context so you guys can hear what's going on.
This is still.
So this is a shelf right here. So I can kind of roll the top end down or roll it up. That's all a shelf is. That's all a shelf is, right? And so you can do that on the highs or you can do that on the lows. Same thing. And Reaper has that all like just built in when you lock in. The cool thing about Reaper is if I hold and pull this, watch where it says high shelf. When I pull this down, it's going to change. Boom.
Oh, okay.
I guess it didn't change on here. But
low shelf, high shelf, so.
Basically now the way that I've manipulated it, or you can set it manually, it's just kind of the same thing. Now I'm like, instead of shelving them down, I'm rolling them off like completely. So that's like, and we can get nerdy because I recently I didn't even know this, but I found out like it looks like it's cutting it all off. It's not cutting it all off. That's just not how EQs work. It's basically putting a fader. It's not how most EQs work unless you specifically have one of those. What's that called, Lou? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about a band filter, a band EQ that you can cut and chop specific areas and dial them in and out.
No, that's different than what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is, I forget the terms. It's in the course. It's in the course. I forget what it's called because I just learned this. But basically, like,
what was the question again?
So for example, let's say, just for hypothetical sake, I want to cut 100% of the highs away. 100%. What we're looking at, most people would assume is doing that.
The low pass.
The low pass or a high cut, whatever you want to call it, same thing.
Yep.
You would look at that and you would think, okay, I'm seeing that it's cutting that all off, therefore it's all gone. But that's not the case. Unless you have a specific type of EQ that cuts 100% of it, it doesn't cut 100% of it. So like you can put 3 of these on.
What's called attenuation, where you can attenuate. So where you draw the line or the frequency line, attenuation is kind of like a knee where you can dampen it so that you can take.
Nobody here knows what a knee is, though. But yes, that's true.
So it's
but we'll get there. We'll get there. I promise we'll get there. But just stay with me for a second. Just stay with me for a second. So what I'm trying to get to is that basically if you want to really, like, let's say you wanted to cut 100% of the highs, you would have to put multiple of these on, or you would have to use an EQ that's like specially for that. And the thing is,
where you even had to do that though?
That's the fucking correct question. Typically,
I was
no.
Thinking, like, what are you gonna have to do? Either?
Well, and this goes back to the point that Lou was making earlier, is that you actually probably wouldn't want to do that.
That's
like
the whole entire. Awful. I mean, I'm just being real. Like anytime,
the way
you're
that
like messing around with you're trying to fuck around with. experiment.
Well, even if you were gonna do like if you wanted to do an effect like that, you probably still wouldn't want to do that. And here's why. The reason you don't want to do that is because if you over EQ, like let's say if you put like 20 fucking EQs on, like you EQ and EQ and EQ and EQ and EQ, you're basically like poisoning the entire signal because you're gonna add in phasing.
Overload it and it's gonna make it smothered.
And it's not about overloading. That's definitely a thing that can happen. But specifically with EQ, the way that EQ works is it's basically using phase cancellation. Like that's how it works in the first place. Is you're flipping certain frequencies so that they cancel each other out. And it's like, to Lou's point, when you do that, no matter how much you do it, if you do it a little bit or a lot, it's going to color your signal and make it sound like robotified. Like, even if it's just a little just a little beep, beep, beep.
One of the terms people use is it masks.
When you and when you do that, and then you layer that, like, let's say you run that through a compressor, and then you run that through a limiter, and then by the time it's through all your signal, that little TT turned into a fucking big mole, and it's just like, you don't really know what it is, but it'll just sound like boxy and robotic. So like you want to definitely be careful with EQs. It's not like a one size fits all. To Lou's point, and this is something that Donnie talks about all the time that I agree with 100%. If you have poop coming in, you're gonna have poop coming out. So I don't know if they use those words. I use those words. You got poop coming in, poop coming out. So like you can only polish a turd so much. You can only filter a turd so much, and then it's like at the end of the day, it still was a turd to start with. So it's like you're way better off like getting it to sound good at the source. So like random example, like do you hear how bassy this shit is when I go like this versus like this? Like it automatically is sounding so much better. Like right around here for me is like where it sounds the best. So if you get a really good mic placement, you automatically don't have to do a lot of those things. So anyways, we'll get more into it, but I just want to explain that. So boom, that's a high pat, or that's a high cut. That's a low cut.
And are we playing into how EQ and compression like together?
We're gonna get into that later. I want to just really focus on EQ today because it's enough.
It's just I always thought of them together so much because it's like
they go together for sure.
Like, well, it's just oftentimes you're doing like whenever I was mixing and mastering at home, and I usually was working with my pops or whatever. It was actually on Reaper, oddly enough. So I am getting kind of like little flashbacks of how of using like these, like setting the dots on the right now on the black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like what you're saying. It's actually sinking in more than I thought it would. So
hell yeah.
I mean,
dude. EQ and compression are like the go-to. Yeah. Like if I had nothing else, I would have those two.
I just I know it's
give
like
or take auto-tune,
but you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
If it's used dope, then yeah, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And every other tool is a version of EQ and compression. I said every other tool is a version of EQ or compression.
There's a shit ton of truth to that. Like a de-esser.
Everything is volume, gain, and panning.
Yeah, literally. And I actually go into that in the course too when we talk about different effects. It's like basically everything's just playing with volume in like creative ways. So next I want to show you guys what do we want. So real quick before we keep going, we know what hertz are. We have established like what lows and mids and highs are approximately. We've also established that there's a lot of nuance in that, and that like you can break them down. You can break it down into low. You can break it down into like upper low. You can break it down into like mids, right? You can break it down into like upper mids, right? So we can break it into 3. We can break it into 5. You can break it into like what I have over here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's I think it's a 32 band EQ. So basically it splits up every single one of these bands into a different one. And in fact, you know what? I think I have one I can show you guys real quick. Let's see, is it this one?
Yeah, the SSL one.
You have Pure Call?
You want a graphic EQ?
What do you got? You got this one? Hang on, let's pull this guy. I'm pretty sure this is a... What's that?
Graphic EQ.
Oh, well, there you go. It doesn't want to pull up anyways. Little asshole. All right, well, I'll pull it up in a minute when it's done being stubborn. But So yeah, so basically like on the old school ones or like on like if you have like a big mixing console, they're broken up into specific bandwidths. So these graphical ones are a little bit different. So the reason I bring that up is like in the old school, it was literally like one knob. You push it up or you push it down. Better, worse, middle, cool. Better, worse, middle, cool. Better, worse, middle. And like they were very much using their ears with this graphical stuff. It's super easy to let me just reboot this motherfucker. It's super easy to like use your eyes and not use your ears, and that'll totally fuck you up. You don't want to do that. Like these guys, Lou and I'm sure Donnie does this too. Lou, Donnie, and Abe, they all have it on their rig where they're literally doing it physically by hand. So they're just like it's almost impossible for them to use their eyes because they're not using their eyes. So,
do you want me to link the plugin I mentioned earlier? That's just like an EQ, but there's no visuals at all.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I should have double checked what the name of it was before I opened this bitch up, but it's all good. I know I have one. I just don't use it that often.
So what's next? Mid-side EQ? You gonna have some fun with people?
No.
We're gonna brawl?
No. Keep it chill.
Let's break out the mid-side EQ and let's
Puig
side chain into a bass.
Puig ass mofo. We'll show you that instead. If it wants to.
Have a little fun. I feel you, Lou. I feel it. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm like, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm just like casually ignoring it.
Yeah, we wait. Do you want to anything else?
I'm like, yeah, side chain, yeah, cool. So this is like one that's typical that you might see in a studio or whatever. And this, he was talking about attenuation and stuff like that. This one has that same approach built in. So watch, let me play this real quick. Oops. So I'm just doing this to the beat right now, just so we can kind of hear what's going on. So this is the same exact concept.
So West Coast, dog. It's G-funky, bro.
Dude, right? It is. It's like that's literally what Chachi said. It's like West Coast reggae. It's fire.
Like yeah, Snoop Lion. But ain't corny as Snoop Lion. Nope. Sorry, Snoop Dogg.
You're good, bro. You're good. Okay, so on this one, basically, we got a low end. It's very, very simple, and a lot of these older units are super, super simple. It's like you have a boost, you have an attenuation, you have a boost, you have an attenuation, and that's it. Like you can change the frequencies, but other than that, it's pretty much two knobs. So let me show you guys how that sounds. So this is handling the low end, right? So if I attenuate the fuck out of the low end, it's basically a complicated low cut. It's like fancy and special. So you hear how that low's going away, just like we did before? Can you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I can change what frequency I want to attenuate. So do I want the super, super lows? Or do I want to fuck with that, like the kick range, like maybe around 60? Kind of pull that kick away, but still leave the low a little bit more. And if I'm not mistaken on this one, it's a low pass, or I mean a low cut, excuse me, see I always flip it. It's a low cut, so meaning like if I'm raising this up to 100, it's cutting everything below 100. So like it's the same thing that we just saw, but we're seeing it without visuals basically, which is tight for two reasons. One, because you're not going to be tricked by what your eyes are seeing. You're going to be listening to what your ears are actually telling you. And then two, three reasons. Two, it's also dope because you can play with these knobs, and like something that can be like misleading on the Reaper one, you can really easily just like drag that shit all over the place and kind of like lose where you're at. These ones give you, there's only 4 frequency sets to play with. It's 20, what does it say, 30? Yeah, 20, 30, 60. I'm on blind ass. 60 and then 100. And then so it's like you only have so many options. It limits you to only being able to make so many decisions, which helps in the mix a lot. And then number 3, these plugins are modeled on fancy outboard gear. So they have like magic secret sauce inside. And they just sound good. So like Lou was saying earlier, that he only like he'll do his in the box EQs, and then when he goes to finish, he'll route his stuff to outboard. Is that true? Am I saying that right? Or do you use analog plugins?
What I'll do is in the context of a mix, what I do is I run that rear EQ in actually the TCP, where your track processor is. And if I do need a real quick EQ, like say I want to boost up the bass a little bit, instead of going through the rabbit hole of finding a plugin or an EQ at the moment, I will just add it to pencil it in. Then when I go back and I do once I have all my mix all balanced and even, and I have all my, automations and stuff, and I got it where I want, anything that's an EQ, I will go back and I will replace those EQs and A/B them until they are the sound that I want, and get rid of anything that is a parabolic, dynamic, or anything, and try to make it sound, which it always does, sound better using this type of analog gear, and then turn off that other plugin.
But so real quick, when you say analog gear, do you mean a plugin, or do you mean like you outboard it?
No, I don't use outboard gear at all currently. But
but you'll use you'll do like an analog modeling plugin like this, or something like this.
I run the RIA EQ as a plugin in my track, inside of the track. Remember I was showing you how you can add plugins to your track? So on certain buses, I'll just add the RIA EQ in my track, and I will make an adjustment. When I go back after I have my entire mix done, I will go back wherever I've EQ'd stuff on whatever tracks or buses that I did. I will replace them with the appropriate EQ so I can work very quickly, and then I'll go back and I will fix the EQ.
Right, but what EQ are you replacing with is what I'm trying to find out.
Oh, it all depends on what the track is. I mean,
But you're going with in general. You're going with analog like modeled EQs, right?
I'll replace them with analog EQs almost 100% of the time. Yes.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to get to. So
EQ to get my mix straight, but then I will go in.
I got you, bro.
Polish it using stuff like this. That's how I work.
I got you. Right. So exactly. So what he's saying is that he'll go through and he'll use the re-EQ just to be quick and just to do it, and then he'll replace all of his re-EQs with something like this and try to get that same sound.
Exactly. That's 100% right.
I tend to just go with these a lot of the time. It depends. So I like re-EQ for more surgical stuff. There's a term that I'm going to use with you guys. It's called transparent. And the idea behind that is there are plugins that are transparent and there are plugins that are not transparent. So what transparent means is that if I run, let's say I run a vocal through re-EQ, that EQ that I was just showing you guys. If I run a vocal through that and I change it a little bit, if it's transparent, it's not going to sound changed, which I know sounds like a little bit counterintuitive because it's well, you changed it. It's yes, but some plugins are they have a coloration process. So this plugin, for example, if I run a signal through this, even if I don't really change anything, it's going to color the signal a little bit, which is what you want because it's a positive color. That's why people spend all this money on all this fancy outboard gear, is it just has this magic sauce that you want to put on your signal. So I was going somewhere with that. Forgot my train of thought. But yeah, what's up, Abe? You want to jump in, bro?
As you're saying, transparent is you pretty much nailed it. The other thing I kind of want you to go over real quick, Z, is Q.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
That's kind of
so it is, but it isn't. So you guys ever heard of Devin Townsend?
Right, you totally jit up with the boot. You roboted out. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of Devin Townsend?
Nah.
He's fucking ugly, and he's awesome.
He's
best type.
Yeah, you know him?
Yeah, I know.
That's fucking dope, dude. Devin Townsend is a goat. He's really good.
Or what is he like a?
No. He's dude. Abe's a big dog. He knows some big dogs, man. Abe's not playing
a
around.
Big dog. Yeah, everyone here is a big dog. We don't. Big dogs don't.
Yeah, but there's levels. I'm not gonna lie. I be chilling in Tucson doing my thing, bro. Abe's working with some big dogs, man. You know, it is what it is. I mean, like you said, we big dogs too. Whatever. But so anyways, Devin Townsend, bro. So he's mega famous. He's done world tours. He's really big in the progressive metal space. And he does these super huge productions. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I want to say classical, but bigger.
He has an
theatrical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does these huge fucking chorus choirs of 50 people, multiple drum sets, just insane over the top shit. And he plays guitar and he sings at the same time, and he's really good. And he's just fucking ugly. It's awesome. I love him.
Where's the ugly part come in so like furious with you?
I'll show you a video later if y'all want to stick around at the end of the class. I'll play you a video, bro, because he's like, it's like part of his vibe, bro. It's part of his vibe, bro.
I
It's
know
just
what you're
dope.
saying, but it's like like he embraces who he. Like I'm so ugly, but that's okay, cause so are you.
And I'm pretty sure before he like shaved his head, he had like this crazy like bald long hair.
What up?
Anyways, Devin Townsend's tight. So anyways, Devin Townsend, bro, when he mixes, he does his own recordings at home, and he uses just like the Waves bundle, which is like it's good, but it's like the basic stuff.
Okay.
And he literally leaves every single plugin on the stock settings and doesn't change it at all. Which is crazy. Like he literally will like adjust like input output. That's it. Like he throws a reverb on, doesn't change it. He throws the EQ on, barely changes it.
If it works, dog, why? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
so so we'll get to Q. It's important, but I just want to make sure we get like the basic concepts. Like if the highs are too high, turn it down. If the lows are too low, turn it up. Just basic concepts. But we'll get there. So we covered transparent EQ. We covered hertz. We covered lows, mids, and highs. We covered mostly that. What else we got?
Q.
Yeah, I know, but I want to do something else before we get to Q.
Okay.
I want to show you guys. What's that? No
Mid-side.
I want to show you guys vocalies a little bit because we've been doing a lot of beat stuff.
So,
what's up? What you got?
Oh, I was gonna say this would be
a good time for questions too.
Yeah, bro. Like, so you were saying he leaves it on, like whatever that dude you were just talking about. So
Devin Townsend.
Yeah, I've been seeing lately these advertisements for these plugins. Like, here you can have your song sound like Little fucking Yachty and his plugin, like fucking whatever the fucker sound like whoever, just like
wouldn't that be nice?
Or fucking, you know what I'm saying? But those like they say that it's already set to like the settings they use and like is that like what is this whole? What is that? What are do you know what I'm talking? Like you must.
Oil.
That's what I was. I know
it's
that,
a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both.
Is it just like getting to the point where everybody can get this information? Like some people can teach it better, and having it in front of you and having somebody that actually breaks it down and like talks about the nuances and the to the eons like you do. That's different than like reading it on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? But
sure.
I just wondered like about what there's
like. Let me see if I'm understanding. Are you asking me like? Is there something they have that I can't get somewhere else that I need from them? Is that what you're asking me?
Like,
or is that bullshit?
Are they just kinda... I don't even know. I guess it's. I mean, I thought some other people would have had to like run in with these advertisements, but I guess
no. We've all seen that shit. We've all like that's the thing, bro. The plugin companies. That's how they make their money, bro. They make their money selling plugins. So it's they want to come out with the newest, dopest, best shit. But like the reality is, and Lou talks about this all the time, like Lou is very educated on this. If you need some free shit, I'm sure he'll hook you up. And like I have a list on it too. But there's basically a free plugin that does virtually everything. Like virtually everything. You just might need to tweak it a little bit more. And then the other thing too, it's like, dude, you can have presets, but like just because I set my voice to a Drake preset, like if I'm screaming, it's not going to sound like Drake, right?
Well, naturally. So you would adjust it to each,
Well, the other thing too with stuff like that is that you're not using the same mic, you're not in the same room, you're not your voice doesn't produce the same frequencies as whoever.
Right.
The plugin
like even if you were rapping exactly the same, there's going to be so many variables.
Beyond that, it's just if a song is, it's maybe you don't need to make it more complicated than it needs to be, type thing. Like
so the way I look at it,
or if it just depends the song. Like it really does.
Sure.
Like I think a lot of this is there's like basic parameters that you're gonna work within because it's just like it would sound horrible, like the highs and lows, etc. We were talking about. It's just mostly you're not gonna be doing that, but on a like even in any genre. But right now it's but other than that, it seems like there is little adjustments for each types. Like it's what you're going for. So.
Totally. Well, so I break it up into two categories with all mixing, and this helps a lot. Like, there's like clean, there's cleanliness, like quality. So like, when I get a vocal, like let's say the vocal is perfect, and let's say I don't want to change anything. Like I'm not trying to like it's a raw rap vocal and it sounds really good, and all I want to do is like bring that up to volume and make it balanced. So there's like a difference between bringing shit up to volume, making it competitive, making it loud, and making it balanced, and then
clear,
like clear, full, and then there's a difference
whatever.
between that and then like style, which would be like affecting it. Like,
Yeah.
boom, this part has a radio voice, or this part has an underwater effect, or like I'm adding distortion and grit and saturation because I want more aggression, or like I'm compressing it even more aggressively because I want this certain sound. Like, those to me are two different categories. So like,
we
a
always
lot
do
more of
that
the
after,
rules
too. Yeah.
stuff goes on to the first categories of like, okay, well, like I have this instrumental that's super, super bass heavy, and I have 5 vocals all stacked on top of each other, and there's a lot of bass buildup in the vocals. So therefore, I'm going to cut a little bit of that bass, like probably not cuts. I probably wouldn't even cut, but I'll roll off a little bit of that bass so that it sits in the mix better. And then that'll just be clean. And like, so when I'm doing that, I'm not really trying to change the sound. I'm just trying to tighten up what's already there.
That's what, that's
my point. You just proved my point. You just argued.
Yeah, no, we agree on that shit, bro. I really think we do. I think I'm just probably a little more liberal with the EQ than you are, low key, which is chill. But yeah, you want to be careful with that shit for sure. You definitely don't want to do it too much.
Maybe you guys work of different genres, maybe a little bit different. I mean, Lou, what do you get?
Same. Doesn't matter.
Okay, sure. I'm not gonna. All right.
Meek's throwing up the laughing emoji. Oh shit! It's all good.
It's all good. I'm not educated enough to speak on this matter, first of all, but like I'm just gonna let you like I think you're
a lot of it's
happy.
opinion,
like,
bro. Real talk, like a lot of it's opinion.
I think you guys all have different points, bro, and I'm just like. Cool.
Let me give you an example that I just heard. I shared this on Facebook the other day. Lou and Abe. Abe, I think, just added me. Lou, I don't know if you're on Facebook, bro, but we have like a mixing chat on Facebook.
Yeah, Lou, we gotta get you like on everything, bro.
And I posted a video the other day. Yeah.
Or whatever, IG or whatever. I don't know. Just so you're in the mix, bro. You're funny, bro.
But yo, check this out. So I posted this video. There was a hip hop engineer, and he was a big dude. I forget who he engineered for. But he was talking about that. Like, for me personally, I tend to lean towards reductive EQ, which we'll talk about in a second, like what that is. That's a good thing to talk about. But I tend to be more of like a reductive guy overall. I cut more than I boost. And this guy was like, I never cut. He's like, I only boost. And he was like, well, my logic is I just couldn't really hear cuts. Like, his brain just didn't really grasp that concept. So for whatever reason, he just like, he learned EQ through boosting only. And his mixes sound fucking good, which to me is like really counterintuitive because I'm like, what? So for him, he just has like a lot of headroom and then he'll boost instead of cutting. Whereas for me, I tend to have a little bit less headroom and I reduce instead of cutting. But it's the same shit.
There's
it's like you can.
Why you do reduction?
There's a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, because you're not adding artifacts when you're subtracting.
Sure. And those, like, again, that's I agree with Lou scientifically on this one. I agree with him. That being said, this other guy disagrees for a reason, and he's a professional and he gets paid, and his mixes objectively sound good.
Lo-fi shit, it's fine. It all depends.
It's not lo-fi. It's not lo-fi. It's high quality. His mixes are good, bro. His mixes are good, and my point with this is like
very low volume, and he's mixing into a limiter, and
who knows?
His mastering is excellent.
Who knows? But what I do know is that they're.
I threw a question in the chat.
Yeah, I got you, Meek. I got.
Oh yeah, Meek.
On that.
I saw you, bro. But yeah, the point. The point
is you fading out again, bro. I mean, I don't know if it's.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
check. Can y'all hear me?
It just was a little feedback.
No worries. The point that I'm trying to make is it depends on the genre. It depends. Like, if you have a good reason for doing what you're doing, you have a good reason for doing what you're doing. And if you're getting paid and your clients are happy and you're happy, nobody can tell you different, straight up. At the same time, there's arguments for everything. And I actually, like, again, I don't do that. I boost when I feel it's appropriate. So, like, I'll reduce first and then I'll boost after. And I boost a lot less than I reduce, which probably Lou would probably agree with that. But just because we both do it that way and we get a good result doesn't mean that he doesn't do it that way and doesn't still get a good result. Does that kind of make sense?
I do it via
it's a lot like cooking, bro.
Or preamps.
I mean, it's just different types of seasoning. That's really,
Right. And like, in Cajun, shit's going to be spicier versus in like, British beans on toast is going to be some boring ass shit. No offense, you people, but.
you're doing a bunch of distorted lo-fi, you're never going to be able to tell, so it's fine.
I mean, yeah, that's also true. Okay, so Meek has a question. Meek says, I want to know when lows, mids, and highs have the most trends that need to be fixed. Like, when do you most see a vocal needing a low cut or high boost, etc.? That's a super good question. And, like, the shitty part, dude, is, like, there is not a one-size-fits-all answer. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, is, like, you need to learn to listen and, like, basically gauge it off of what you're hearing. So if you guys want, like, we could go through a vocal and EQ it if you wanted to. I could give you some just like general thoughts, but like one super quick thing on that, Meek, is like you want to literally, it's this simple. You want to use your ears and go off that. So if I have real quick, if I'm going to make this point real quick and then feel free to jump in. Like what I was saying earlier, like the proximity effect, which is basically the closer you get to the mic, the more bassy it's going to be. And the farther away you get, the less bassy it's going to be. And there's like a sweet spot where if you get too far, you're going to pick up a lot of the room. So there's like a sweet spot somewhere in there where you're going to have a good balance of bass and highs just off where you place the mic. So like, for example, if I get a recording, and this happens sometimes, like I'm very OCD about having mic placement in the booth, but every once in a while I'll be getting in a flow, I'll be doing my mixing or whatever, or I'll be doing my recording. And then the guy will like get off the mic.
Well, you have
or the guy will start like
popping peas. It's S's.
Well, popping peas is a big part. That's a separate thing. Let me get into that because that's a separate thing. The plosives are a different thing, but also it does factor into what I'm saying. But let's just keep it EQ focused for a second. So if the dude is like eating the mic and I don't notice because I might have like EQ going and I might not have noticed it for whatever reason. Maybe I was just being a dickhead and wasn't paying attention. And then we get to the recording, and I bypass all the effects just to hear it real quick, and I hear it sounds super fucking bassy. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, it sounds like he was eating the mic, so we have too much bass. Now I'm going to look to manage the bass, and then we can like figure out how we want to do that. But literally, you listen for a problem, and then you fix the problem. That's it. So to Lou's point, if your vocals were recorded really well in a room that doesn't have a lot of bass, then in theory, especially if you're doing like live music, like bands and stuff like that, there's not an objective reason that you should need to cut a whole bunch of the lows unless you're stacking like 10 vocals or something like that. He said, thank you for that answer, Z, and yeah, live EQ would be great. Yeah, we can do that. If you want, I can go through this one with you guys from what we did yesterday. And then like, the other thing I want to say, too, is, like, there definitely are general rules. So, like, there's two ways that you want to look at it. You want to look at it as, one, am I solving a problem? Or two, am I blending this with something else? Because those are two different things, right? So, like, if there's a problem, you want to go and fix the problem. And if you're blending it with something else, then it's, like, really context-specific. So, I know it's not, like, super helpful answer. It's basically like you gotta know what you're doing. It's the answer, but we can go through it and do some case by case examples. So yeah, let's do that. What do you think? You guys want to mix some vocals?
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah. Pip pip parade.
Yeah. All right, bet. All right, let's get into it.
Oh, I've been wanting to hear the whole song for a while.
I'll play it real quick. I'll play what my mix is, and then we'll start over.
You're good.
Okay, so real quick, Meek says, I want to know what Nico was saying about the popping. Okay, so that's plosives, and that's a very important thing also. So, like, we were talking about the proximity effect, right? And so the proximity effect is the closer you get, the more bassy it's going to be, right? Same thing is true for the plosives. So, like, the closer you get, the more the P's and the K's are going to get picked up. So, when you're recording vocals, that's like a double-edged sword because the more that you eat the mic, the more it sounds like in your ear, which is a positive quality, but then you get that bass buildup. And then you also get more plosives. So, that's where a pop filter comes in. That's where good old sock or, real pop filter comes in.
Use quite
so just that little bit of air, because what it does is it just slows that air pressure down just a little bit. So instead of like it's like makes sense. So mostly you need a pop filter for that, or you either need a pop filter or you're too close to the mic, or your gain
if you
is
get
too
your
high.
singer drunk, and they slur all their words, you don't have to worry about plosives, but you need a good de-esser.
There you go. Dropping gems.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear this and then we'll go from there.
Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you're here to have a good time. Bounce to the beat, let it ride. Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you're here to have a good time.
You should have put one of those in there.
Bounce to the beat, let
Turn
it
it up.
ride. Marijuana fiend, all I really need. I'm a marijuana fiend, all I really need. Roll up the Dutchie, let's get high. Put your hands up if you're here to have a good
All right, and then we'll just hear the verse real quick.
bounce to the beat, let it ride. Get ready for the day. Got a blaze of age. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound. So the
Hey, Meek says, yo, y'all killed this. Appreciate you, bro. Not bad for 3 hours. Recorded, mixed, mastered. Not bad.
Bro, that shit funky, bro. That shit's, I'm telling you.
Yeah, dude, he's got vibes. Dude, I fucking love Chachi, man. He's got vibes.
I
So
hadn't really heard it, like, this is the first time I really got to appreciate
this is a little
it.
throwaway for him too, bro. He just he
This
poops
is
him out,
not
man.
throwaway, bro. No.
It is,
This
dog. A little
motherfucker's
throwaway,
like
man.
bro. Like I like the devil's lettuce. You hear everybody? You know. So I'm like right now feeling all of every lyric. You know. When I walk away, you know, for a little.
He
bit
said,
of
nah, this
entertainment,
Chachi's
man.
best stuff. I don't know, man. He
Chachi,
just
I
needs to
hear
get
he has
back
a
in here, bro.
lot,
All right. So let's get into We can gas up
It
Chachi all day,
happens.
but let's get into it. So I'm gonna bypass this and we'll see the before and after. I'm gonna play in context. So we'll take the FX away. Let's see if I can get rid of these group effects too.
cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly. I'm smoking on my stomach and I think I got the munchies.
All right.
Bounce to the beat, let it ride. Break it down, roll it up and light it up and
Let's look at this.
got a blaze of age, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress inside.
So that's raw right there.
I thought you were gonna
And
do.
you guys can see
a
it.
dropout right there.
Was that?
I thought you did a dropout at first when it like stopped. I thought like, oh, is
Right.
he did one of his,
There's
like,
definitely some drops in here,
comment?
but I don't think we got there yet.
No,
But,
it was like no, I know it was just funny. It was. I
So,
just know
okay.
how you. I know you. I know
Yeah, bro. You know I'd be putting the drops in. That's
I know.
low key. That's actually how I come
So-
up with a lot of them. Is when I'm like soloing stuff. I'll be like, oh, that would sound hard.
Yeah, bro.
So-
Because you do it to the lyrics too. You listen and you like.
Right. No, exactly.
And Moonlight I got from you's hard beat, bro.
Hell yeah.
What was that, Donald?
He said the beat that he got from me was tight. The Moonlight one.
Oh, dude, yeah, man. Your production, like, I've been hearing more and more of it too.
Hell
My
yeah.
God.
That's
Just wait till you hear what I'm writing to it.
Let's go. Hell yeah. All right, so let's get into this, man. So we got the effects bypassed on this one.
Get ready today. Got a blaze of age, say hi.
It's like we got the delay on still. Let me turn that shit off.
Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul
All right, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
See, I can't
Thoughts
hear
on that so
really.
far?
That's a
You can't hear it?
Not really.
Let me turn it up.
I mean, you're loud, but the
Get ready for the day.
Is that better?
Got a blaze of age. Say hi to
Yeah,
the
I can
haters.
do that.
No love for the haters.
All right, word. So it's I wouldn't even say it's bad.
Got a blaze of age. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters.
Like I'm hearing a bunch of stuff already, but real quick, what do you guys think? Do you guys what do you guys hear on that? Like if we were gonna start
Bro.
to EQ, where's y'all's mindset on that?
Well, the first thing I feel on that, I mean, it's already a crisp ass record, and I'm just hearing a dude making a song that's dope as hell. But where the EQ would start, there is some moments where play it one more time.
Ready for the day, gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters.
Right
No
there.
love for
That's
the haters. Cruising
right
through the day,
there,
no
maybe.
So we're not really trying
Well,
to
I would
listen
say
for like
play
a
it-
spot.
No, okay,
Maybe
we're not
like
doing that. All right,
We're
we're not
trying to we're trying to listen to like the overall quality of the sound
Oh, all right, my bad.
because we're doing just general EQ for the whole entire
I
thing.
thought we were doing more like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
I think just
we'll,
play
we'll,
it in
we'll get
context
to
with the
that
track.
shit
Ready
too.
for
But
the
what'd you say, Aim?
Play it in context with the instrumental.
Sure. Well, okay. So I will do that, and I get why you want to do that. But I want to ask you guys, like, the way that I do it and the way that helps me a lot is, like, I try to, like, give it qualities. Like, so just listening to, like, I'll give you an example of how I would,
ready
like,
for
think
the
about
day,
this.
gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters.
So what I hear, personally, it sounds a little bit nasally to me. It sounds like just a little bit of that frequency. Like, I hear that in there, which to me sounds like 1K. That's just what I hear. And I hear, like, I don't hear a ton of the proximity effect. It doesn't sound super bassy. It sounds like it was a decent recording. It sounds to me like maybe it's a little bit on the brighter end, right? Which makes sense because I very often with him will use a dynamic microphone, the SM7B, which is a little bit less bright. And this last recording we used Audio-Technica, which is like a condenser, so it's a little bit brighter. So like all that kind of makes sense. So like I'm hearing like a pretty good quality vocal that doesn't have a ton of bass on it, that has a little bit of brightness on it. That's what I'm hearing, and a little bit of nasaliness. That's what I'm hearing. Does that make sense to anybody? You don't necessarily need to hear all that, but does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Nick's giving me the thumbs up.
Like, I mean,
Word.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Word. And
That's
I know I'm
true.
like I'm being a little specific with that nasally thing. That's some shit that like I've picked up, but. So
Everything
time
you're
you hear a
saying has
vocal-
merit to what you're saying. Like it's very, even if the problems aren't that big,
Exactly.
Or
even if it's not a problem, like
whatever
even
you
if
wanna
it's like,
call it, if it might add
but like
to
with the
track, it might
bass,
not, but
like
yeah,
with the bass specifically, where it's like it doesn't sound too bassy. I'm noticing that, and I'm just making a note of it, right? Like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
right on.
working,
Okay,
that's
cool.
not working. You know what I mean? So we're kind of just taking an inventory of the vocal.
all right.
So
I like
let's
keep that in mind.
he says vocals need depth. Yeah, for sure. So whenever we're listening to a raw vocal, we would expect that it would need depth because there's no reverb on it. So it should sound just like raw in your ear, which is what you want for this stage. So let's listen to it in context. Still raw. Oh, sorry, it's loud as fuck. Turn this bitch back down over here instead. See what we can do here. Oh, that's pinning. Where'd my fucking volume button go? Oh, here it is. What? That's weird. I just updated my theme. I guess my volume's gone.
The updates. I love those little
pro.
sneaky updates, bro.
Yeah, I just like changed my theme before we got on here. I guess I turned my volume off. Getting weird. All right, turn that bitch down a little bit. Turn that bitch up a little bit so it sounds normal.
Day, gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress in sight. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound.
So yeah, like overall, it's sitting fine. Like I don't hear any major issues. It just doesn't sound processed to me. It just sounds kind of raw. You know what I mean? So let's go through and let's mess with it.
Gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters. Ride, get ready for the day. Gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress in sight. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound. So
All right, so looking at it, this is what I did. Not much. I don't know that I would do this again. Let's try. Let's see what I do this time.
gotta blaze a day. Gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress
So
in sight.
a lot of times in these situations, what I'll do is I'll kind of go extreme a little bit. So like I'll roll off a bunch of the lows just to see what it does, and then I'll bring it back. That's often what I do. So I'll show you an example.
Ready for the day, gotta blaze a Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress in sight. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound, so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling.
So I ended up coming to a similar conclusion. So So basically, I'm just kind of listening, like, how much can I take away before it loses something, right? And you don't want to take more than that away, right? So I'm going to just pull down a little bit of the low end of the voice just to leave room for the bass and stuff like that. And also his voice is pretty bassy. So yeah, this is just what I'm hearing. Like, I'm really not even hearing that too much. It's very subtle. As before.
No stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound.
Yeah, I might even do a little bit less than that. But where I really hear it is when all the vocals layer together. That's when I really hear it. So let's do that one more time. As before.
Ready for the day, gotta blaze an A. Say hi to the haters, no love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no
I hear it in the main verse a little bit too.
Ready for the day, gotta blaze an A. Say hi to the haters, no love for
something like that, maybe. I'm listening on my headphones too, so maybe it sounds more bassy on my speakers. Maybe that's why I did it. So that's another good thing too. You want to keep in mind, like, you want to listen to shit on speakers. You want to listen to shit on headphones. You want to compare it to your reference. You want to just, like, because it's all about your perspective, man. So
the phone test,
these are just
taught me that
opinions,
too,
man.
bro.
Word, for sure. So that's what I hear so far. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just pulling down the lows just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Like, what are we doing? It's 3 decibels. That's it. That's not very much. And then, like, it sounds a little bit dull to me. Like, I'm thinking needs a little bit of brightness. Let's see.
Gotta blaze an A, say hi to the haters, no love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly.
Something like that, maybe.
Ready for the day.
Same thing. I'm only boosting at 2 dB.
Ready for the day.
What you think, Lou? You say
I
something?
wouldn't touch any of it. I use compression. But that's me.
Oh, okay. I should have known the answer to that.
You know it. You know, I already told you how it worked. I don't touch
No, for sure. I just thought you were saying something on that. But real quick, you hear how we got...
And you just boosted it, so I don't understand what you're doing. You said you heard nasal, now you just boosted 1K, and you cut
Well, I
out
haven't
that
gotten to the
part.
nasaliness yet, brother. I'm just doing general big picture stuff.
I don't understand the process. It seems like a lot of work that compression will fix. That's what I said earlier.
No, compression won't fix it. Compression is totally different, but we'll get there. Compression's another day. Compression is magic, bro. Compression is magic, man. What's up?
Magic. Yeah. If you know how to use compression, you don't need EQ.
That's totally not true. But that's okay. But that's fine.
I don't know what to. I'm just gonna.
You make up your own opinion.
That's what I'm.
You make up your own opinion. That's why this is cool. You decide.
I think I'll just fuck
EQ and compression are not the same thing.
I know they're not. I know they're too. Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But I know compression does do quite a bit if you're trying to, like, if you have really. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna get into this shit.
Yeah, it's like I said, we'll have philosophy days because, I mean, to be fair, this shit is very, like, deep and rich and complex, and there's, like, lots of nuanced reasons for why you can think so. But, like, just keeping it real simple. Here's an example of what you might do. The vocal you might brighten it a little bit. You might cut a little bit of the lows. So we were talking about. I said, to Lou's point, I said that I heard a little bit of nasaliness, right? Like, particularly, I literally hear, like, that's how I hear it in my head, and I'll show you guys how we can identify that and get rid of that. So we're going to do what I call the seek and destroy.
Ready for the day, gotta blaze an A, say hi to the haters, no love for the
So I'm just listening real quick.
no stress.
So again, like, I'm listening for that, like, where I hear that sound.
Just nasally. I don't know what you're talking about. I have
You'll
to
hear it. You'll hear it. And so this is the thing you just
like,
got to train your ears to. I learned it from practicing and just watching a grip of videos and practicing. But
well, I feel like if you have to
like
look
when
for it,
you'll hear
that,
people
like,
say these words, and I'll put this on the cheat sheet too.
Okay.
But you'll hear, like, and trust me, dude, once I start showing it to you, you'll be like, oh. But
Okay,
you just kind of got to get an ear for it. There's nasaliness. There's like boxiness, which I'm not doing a great job of showing. There's like boominess and muffliness. There's all these different ones that have their own sort of sound. And what's really interesting, this is where it gets into, like, spiritual metaphysical shit. If you, like, especially in the high end, each type of frequency has its own sound. I don't have all these memorized, but, like, those all are different frequency ranges, and you can literally, like, based off the vowel sound that your brain is interpreting, you can recognize them. The brain's really powerful when it comes to that stuff. So it's just something, it's called ear training. You just need to train your ears on it. But that's literally what this class is for, is to give you guys some examples and to build your ears a little bit.
Yeah, so like, he's talking about like nasaliness. Like in my head, I have a certain range of frequencies where that lives because I'm so used to.
So like we use, this is why I'm so big on descriptors. Like you want to listen to what you're hearing, you want to describe what you're hearing, and then you want to use the tools to see if what you're describing matches up with what you think. And it's not always going to do that. So like right now, like I'm almost like making a prediction. I'm predicting that if I cut these nasally frequencies away, it's going to sound better. And now I'm going to test if that's true.
Yeah. All right,
just based off my experience.
Nico, you want to hear what nasally sounds like? It's real easy. Hold your nose and talk. That's the sound.
Yeah.
I think he means in the context. I get what you mean. You mean in the context of the mix. I got you.
My voice is nasally. I have a raspy, nasally voice. I have like it makes no sense. It's low and deep. It's at the same time. It's like my brain.
Yeah, you do kind of have one of these a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
I do too. I have that too.
Bro, yeah. Like Tom Brady when he yells at his team, he's like, "Yeah," you know.
Dead ass. Or it's like Michael Jackson, how he always talks like this, you know?
Oh yeah, like that, like
that. Michael Jackson.
No,
I would never hurt a child.
I mean,
sorry.
We were just playing around a little bit, you know.
No, that's terrible. I would never do that. Okay,
it was just bump beds.
So here's the thing, right? So with any of those types of vocals, like, or if a guy comes in and he's like, "Pass the dutchie on the left hand side," right? Like, or if the guy comes in and he's like,
the deep ass voice,
like each one of those types of vocals are gonna have their own pros and cons that come with it. Exactly, literally exactly. So for me, nasally is a big one for me because I kind of have this off rip. So like, yeah, so it's I'm almost always.
You gotta deal with me. You gotta deal with
And dude, it's just the game. It's the game. We're all mouth breathers, so it is what it is. But so, anyways, all right. So let me show you guys Seek and Destroy. So before I do it, I want to just explain kind of the concept. So now we're gonna get into Q. Everybody's been waiting for Q. So what Q is? So like, let's say if I just grab this middle. This is called a band filter. And what a band filter means is like you have different bands, right? So you have like this band, this band, this band, this band. And in the Reaper one, so like in an old school EQ, the bands are stuck. So you have this band, you can go up and down this band. In Reaper, you can kind of like click and drag this guy anywhere. So it's useful. It also can lead you astray. So just keep that in mind. But it's really great for search and destroy stuff. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to take this Q, right, which is this bandwidth button. Bandwidth Q is kind of the same concept. And what this does is this basically controls like how wide what you're affecting is. Like, are you just affecting this little teeny tiny sliver of a frequency, or are you affecting like a whole range of frequencies? So remember we were talking about transparent earlier? The wider that your Q is, and this is in general, this is like not a perfect science, but just like just rule of thumb, the wider that your Q is, the more transparent the change is going to be. And the skinnier the Q is, the more like robotic it's going to be. So like a lot of people learn this search and destroy thing, and they end up making something that looks like this, right? Where it's like, and just like, you know, they might have like 14 of these, right? Because they're like, oh, well, I got rid of all the bad frequencies. And this is Lou's nightmare. This is like,
I might have done that before.
We've all done it. We've all done it. And this is like.
What did he say?
He said, I'm smarter than that. I fuck with Lou, bro. See, he's got reasonings, though. You can't even hate on him, dude, because he has a reason. Like, I can't argue with that. If you have a good reason, I can't argue with that.
Cool.
But, like, so, and to his point, like, I'm going to give him his flowers right here. If you do this, if you do what I'm showing you right now, it's going to sound like butt. It's going to sound like butt.
I'm starting
because it's going to just become robotified and filtered.
Play it for him. Show him what it does. Don't just say it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Remember my yeah.
Let's hear it. That's a good point.
Sounds like he's doing nitrous hits. He's smoking helium.
It does sound like that. Sounds like this. Totally. Take it off. And like, listen to how much life comes back when I take it off.
Oh, it hurts my head, bro. I can't explain it.
Yeah, it sounds more nasal. It sounds like nothing but nasal now. It's like all we have is nasal.
Something, yeah, it was bad. Like, because it took it. I don't know what it was just, but
So what it's doing is like in your mind, you might be thinking, oh, I'm getting rid of these problem frequencies. And you might actually, like, let's say you had a bunch of problem frequencies. You might actually have gotten rid of them. The problem is you also,
that's my new
it's like trying to cut cancer out and then you cut the dude's head off. It's like you overdid it. You know what I mean?
Arteries. Listen, another thing, I want to point out something real quick about that move, by the way. And I've been trying to help people with this, and they don't get it. I'm going to try to explain this as easy as I can. All those little notches that you do before all of your mix is totally done, especially like in the context of a mix. If you're going and reaching for EQs while you're like mixing and balancing and panning, and you're trying to make these moves before that's done, every one of those notches is like a shotgun hole through a sign. That means that something somewhere in your mix is going to poke through those holes. So every time you make a notch somewhere, something from somewhere else, and God knows where it's coming from, because now you've shotgun splattered a stop sign, and now everything is flying all over the place, and now you're never going to be able to fucking fix it. Full stop. You can't fix it because you destroyed it.
That's true. So it comes back to less is more. Like with EQ, and like to lose point with compression, dude, I'll push compression like really fucking hard. Like throughout my career, I've like only compressed more. Whereas throughout my career, I've EQ'd less and less and less and less. So there's definitely truth to what he's saying. Like if you do too much, it's gonna sound like you did too much. It's really that simple. It's like if you have a painting that you hand painted and it was perfect, and then you try to like erase a part and fix it and erase a part. It's like before you like you might if you did it with one spot, it might actually make the thing better. But if you do it in 25 spots, it's just going to be a blurred.
That's not a song. That's 25 different weird little vignettes of like, I don't know, your fucking soul is chopped up in little weird pieces, you know.
Yeah, word. And dude, there's a place for that. Like at Atlantic Records, they I know for a fact they've done that with like Bad Baby. I think her song. Well, bro, I talked to an intern that worked there, and for her song, it was like 365
so many of these
individual
new fucking
chops.
rappers, they just literally they jump in every like line.
Yeah. I mean, like, and bro, I have songs like that, so like, it's a technique.
I understand the context, dog. I get it, but I'm saying if you're really trying to like, come on, do the verse, and then you could do the hook in a separate one. I understand that, but if you say you can't spit your verse, bro, like then, like I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like you might wanna,
well, so
I don't know, man.
I see your point, but let me push back on that.
That's my mindset right now, though. I mean,
and I got you. I mean, and that's the real rapper. That's the real rapper. And you saying that, and I don't disagree with him, but what I would say to him is I would say, bro, for the real rapper, that makes sense, but for the songwriter who's focusing on
No, I'm talking about even for that too. If we want a performance that's gonna like that's authentic, I'm just saying that, but you can do that with your
that's my whole point. Is you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it from a performance perspective, which is totally chill. But there's lots of bands who made entire careers off of playing or about recording songs they couldn't play.
To do it, bro. I'm just like saying it in a confident way because I believe it, but I believe there's other ways to do it too. Because like we've discussed this. I mean,
I guess all I'm saying is like the way, because I'm an engineer, I don't have the luxury of like, because like I have my artistic opinion as an artist, but as an engineer, I have to kind of like, okay, well you can do it that way and you could do it that way. So it's very like. I used to be real judgmental about a lot of that stuff, and as I've gotten like older, I'm like, man, there's a reason why people do shit the way they do it, and it's like, it's just pros and cons. The way I look at it, it's pros and cons of style and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But to each their own for sure. Like that's one thing I respect because it's like that's a real rapper position in my opinion. The same way like a real guitar player is gonna land that shit in one take. But then it's also like, man, I got homies that it's like. We make some fun parts, but I'm not going to lie. We Frankenstein the fuck out of that shit sometimes. And it's like, that's just how we do it. You know what I mean? But
actually, because I've been experimenting and I love doing the other side of that too. I just mean when you do your take, I was talking about the punch-ins, like literally that one type of doing it. I feel like it's hard to have a song unless the song is built for that style. It's very like, it's just hard to land that. I'm just all I meant was
for sure.
Like 4 bars here, 4 bars there. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Or Frankenstein, like I get.
Have you
that.
heard,
We've
bro?
done that too, bro. Like we have I have a song where we've done that multiple times. Like so, it's not that. Yeah. It's more just like I don't know. I guess it's the art. You know how it gets lost in translation because everybody's came up learning different ways, and I respect what you're saying. I agree with it. Honestly, I want to try it more. I'm tired of kind of like, I feel like everybody wants me to, I want to try to shorter takes, honestly, on a songwriting, like just get more used to that, and we can talk about that
it's
later.
pros and cons, right? Because like the long performances are dope, and like with the soul sessions, like I'm all about the live performances. I want to showcase and highlight that. I think it's corny when people make like a music video and then it's like the guy's not even singing and it's like they call it a cipher. It's like you can't even. I don't know. That's corny to me. At the same time, like if you can like really pristinely perfect those 4 bars and then do the 4 bars and then like the overall quality is better, it's like hard to argue with doing that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I see both sides. And to your point, it depends on the song. Like there's some songs where it's like it's gonna sound weird if you punch in, and then there's other songs where it's written for that. So definitely, I think writing for what you're gonna do helps a lot. But anyways, all right. So let's get into this.
No, until you get in the booth, like you find out when you get in there what because sometimes
right, and then it depends on the beat and the style and all that kind of shit. But so
bro,
okay,
how it is.
So let's do this search and destroy shit. So what I'm gonna do, man, is I'm basically going to boost this little itty bitty frequency. So I have my Q really tight. So it's basically gonna like if I boost the fuck out of just one of these, it's literally gonna go like, and then like you'll hear it make like a note. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play with this and I'm gonna see if I can that nasally thing that I'm hearing that I don't like. I'm gonna try and find it, bring it up so that it gets louder, and then once I find it, I'm gonna leave it right there and then drop it down and see if I can kind of just tuck that out just a little bit without fucking it up. Does that make sense? He says Q equals quality factor. Well, I didn't even know that. There you go.
I thought it stood as queef.
I thought so too. I actually typed that earlier today. All right, here we go.
Get
I know
ready
you
for
did.
the
That's why I
day.
said it.
Gotta blaze a
It's my
say
dog.
hi to the haters.
And then something that all my boys are going to get on my ass about, I can already tell. You almost always want to mix whatever you're mixing with everything playing, right? You don't want to, like there's times where you want to solo it, like if you're listening for noise or if you're trying to like figure out like, hey, where's this sound coming from? Soloing has its place, but like in general, when we're making EQ decisions and compression decisions and like things that are going to affect the whole mix, you don't want to do it in isolation. You want to do it in context of the whole thing. So anyways, let's do that.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze
All right, so I'm going to turn this on.
Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day. No stress inside. Keep my circle small and real.
You guys hear that? Wah, 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 wah. You hear that shit?
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a say hi to the haters. No love.
You can hear it. No. You can literally hear the note.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a say hi to the haters. No love for.
You guys hear that?
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a
You can literally hear the note.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a say hi.
That's like a minor third.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a say hi to the haters. No love.
Don't worry about the notes and shit, but you can hear it when you like you dial in. You can really hear that shit.
Ready for the day. Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a.
You hear that shit? You guys hear that?
Wait, hold on.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a. Say hi to the.
This is without it?
No love for the haters. Cruising through the day. No stress inside.
It literally sounds like.
And that ain't you doing that. That's in the track.
That's the EQ. That's what I'm boosting.
Okay.
So watch if I pull it down.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters.
You hear that? So I'm bringing up something that's inside his voice already.
I got you.
So let's play around. I'm gonna dig and see. I'm gonna find some offensive shit and get rid of it.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a. Say hi to the haters. No love for the.
You hear that? That's literally him right on 1K.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a. Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a. Say hi to the haters.
You guys hear that? It's like super loud. And this is kind of weird, but it'd be a little easier in person. But you guys hearing that? Anybody?
I'm someone else. No.
You can't hear it?
No, I can hear it. Is that a rhetorical question? Of course I can hear that.
Yeah, you hear the pitch too? That
Yeah, I know what
you
it
hear that
sounds
shit? Word.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody, because this is a little bit more nuanced. I want to make sure you guys can hear. You can hear that shit, Nico, or no?
They do need to understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah, you're pushing it to a limit where it's doing that, correct?
Yeah, basically, so I'm isolating this one frequency range, like
yes,
that one little part,
creating that little sound, and yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so that little sound is just that part of his voice being amplified, and so So when I move it, like right here, I can hear wah 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 wah, but it's not super fucking loud. At the same volume, it's like wah 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 wah. It's there. Wah 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 wah, like wah. You hear that shit got loud, and I didn't change anything. So what that's telling me is that wah, that 1K is higher than everything. It's kind of sticking out. So like when I'm dragging my thing across, I'm listening for what's popping out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. I got.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
So I'm and I was guessing before I even did this. I was guessing wah wah. I was guessing that wah 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 wah. Like, and guess what? That's exactly what's popping. And that's because I can hear that shit.
Is he's trying to amplify all these different areas to single out where the problem is. So what he'll do is he will notch that out very, very nuancedly to kind of, just lessen it. But he's amplifying it to find the problem, and at the end, he'll move it all the way back down to where he started, and then he'll notch it out, and then he'll move the cue back and forth until the problem is gone. He's
exactly. It's like zooming in with a hyper microscope to see like where your zit is.
Right.
There you go. I like that one.
Yeah.
No, you're just like it's the micro, man. You're like
exactly.
The little,
and so I'm boosting the fuck out of that little micro spot, and then I'm hearing, okay, that sounds like shit. So, and it just happens to line up with where I thought there was a problem. So now I just proved it to myself. I said, I think there's a problem in this area.
That shows your instinct was pretty good on that, man.
And that's how you fucking train your ears.
You're growing as a engineer.
That's how you train your ears, because if you don't make a prediction and then check to see if you're right, you'll never learn.
How are you going to measure it?
You'll just be guessing, and then you'll be like, why is my shit inconsistent? Why does this mix sound good and this mix sounds like ass?
That's actually, hell yeah.
So this is so fucking important for consistency, and then the more that you do it, the more...
And this is called, this is just Q? Is that what it's referred
to? So the Q specifically is when you adjust this bandwidth.
Okay, all right, right here.
And somebody correct me if I'm using these terms wrong, because like I said, I'm self-taught, but so... This is controlling how wide or how skinny it is. And so when it's really, really skinny, like if it's not really going to sound good, so you want to be real light and gentle. But if I just roll off that one frequency just a teeny bit, it's not going to, in theory, Lou would say this isn't true, but in theory, it's not going to affect the overall vocal, and it'll just fix my problem, and everybody's a happy clam.
Okay.
So let's see if that actually works. Let's try it out.
Ready for the day, gotta blaze an A, say hi to the haters, no love for the haters, cruising through the day, no stress inside, keep my circle small and my vision real.
So specifically 1148-ish, 1150 is where I'm really hearing it.
Ready for the day,
you guys hear that?
Gotta blaze an A, say hi.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard
now
it.
The bass is getting, like, it's starting to, like, I'm getting a pop in my left ear now. I don't know if that. I'm just letting
Interesting.
You know.
Yeah, it's probably just the frequencies building up because I have the master a little bit hot right now.
Okay,
so I'm turn that shit down.
I was
but you guys hear that, right? It almost sounds like a whistle. And so what's interesting, this is something cool to think about. If you think about it, and we can get more into this if you guys want, but every single instrument that you've ever heard, the reason it sounds like what it sounds like is because of this complex combination of frequencies that are making it what it is. So like the reason your voice sounds different than my voice is the shape of our face is different. And so like the frequencies that build up in your head are different than the ones that I have in my head, and we recognize that complicated pattern as this person or that thing or whatever. So like when you pull up this noise and you hear a note, you're literally hearing you're hearing a note, all the notes inside your voice at one time. It's called the harmonic series or the overtone series. And like you can demonstrate it. Yeah, harmonic resonance, there's a lot of ways to talk about it, but the overtone series is crazy because within every single organic note in existence is an octave, a fifth, like there's a whole series of notes in every single note.
There's a way to measure it always. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and so those complicated, nuanced differences is what makes a saxophone sounds like a saxophone, what makes a trumpet sounds like a trumpet, makes whatever sound like whatever. And so that's how, like, synthesis, when you combine different frequencies, that's how you can make shit that sounds like other shit. So just a little bit of sound science for you. So, like, just keep in mind, anything that we're amplifying is part of your voice. This sound isn't coming from nothing. It's coming from his voice. So those tones, those pitches, wah, 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 like, all of those are in his voice somewhere. If I boost the fuck out of them, you can hear them. And some people get really nerdy with this shit. I don't really do this that much, but I'll do it occasionally when it happens organically. But some people will tune their EQs to notes. So they'll literally make sure. What'd you say, Abe?
I do it sometimes. I'll like that's like not on the key of the song.
Word. Yeah, and I'll do it a lot. Like I didn't do it so much when I was younger, but I do it a lot more now. Where it's like you'll just be in a range, and like you would be making an objective, like how I showed you guys. Oh well, the lows are too much, so I'm gonna lower the lows. But then you can kind of get these sweet spots where you'll almost tune the EQ with the pitch of the song. So that's like some next level shit. Donnie Baker says it's all math, numbers, big facts.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's like.
So check this out. Let's do this real quick. I know I'm like taking forever to get through this, but it's worth it. All right. Wah, 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 wah. You guys hear that shit? Wah, 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 wah. I'm gonna pull it down. All right, now let's take it off and back on just to hear it.
Don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly. I'm smoking on this.
Let's bring it up one more time to see.
Get ready for the day. Gotta blaze an A. Say hi to the haters.
Boom. I mean, that's it, bro. Like,
no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my.
There's a tiny bit right there, just a little.
You think I should turn it more? What do you mean?
No, I don't know. No, there's just a moment. I'm just listening in my headphones. Now
Oh yeah, there might be like a second.
It through. It's filtered through. How are you? Are you playing it like your computer? Is it filtering through your speakers, going through your computer microphone or your microphone right there?
Fuck no.
Okay, we're getting the.
Yeah, you're getting the true audio. Right. That's why I was offline for 2 weeks. I had to figure out how to make that happen.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah,
was a
that's
nightmare.
like it's yeah.
But we should have it now. So, but you can hear it okay? Cool. Can everybody else? Can everybody else hear okay? I want to make sure.
See.
Yeah, I can hear fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. I just like since you were listening so intensely, I started listening with this like.
This is the test right here. If we can all hear this shit, this is the fucking test for sure.
I'm just noting in these headphones, these Boseys, where I'm getting now. That could also though be coming from like just a cough from somebody, down in the like. I'm hearing the music with people. Like there you go, Lou. Like there, yellow right there. So that could also be playing into the.
Get ready for the day. Gotta blaze.
Let's hear it real quick.
Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day. No stress.
This is a really good time. Like whenever you're like, wait, am I hearing some shit? Like that's when you solo it.
Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat. Don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly. I'm smoking on that strong again.
Let's do the Seek and Destroy just solo, just so you guys can really hear it.
No, I think this is a nice way to hear it right here.
Word. Yeah, then it must have been something else. That's cool though. I appreciate that. Let's hear it one more time.
Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good, you can tell by my belly.
You guys hear that shit?
Right there, yeah. I saw. I thought like. I mean, but it's almost at a point like I don't know. Is anyone even gonna notice? Like I can't.
Watch, listen.
Is it just wanting to be perfection? Like, is it chase? Is that where we're?
No, it's no perfect. No. See, that's the thing. You're way overthinking it. Like we're literally just listening to that one noise and just seeing, can we hear womp womp? That's it. All we're listening for is womp womp. That's it.
Cruising through the day, no stress inside.
You guys hear womp womp?
My circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat.
Especially on the higher words, you can really hear it, right? So let's bring that shit down.
No stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people
that sounds
feel
tucked
it.
to me.
Bounce to the beat. Don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good.
Without it?
Tell by my belly. I'm smoking on that strong again.
You hear how nasally and boxy that shit got?
Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce.
It's got like this thing to it.
And I'm eating good, you can tell by my
And then
belly.
boom,
I'm
clean.
smoking on that strong again.
Right?
I think I got the munchies.
He said it's really low volume on the stream. I mean, I can turn that shit up.
Cruising through the day, no.
I just don't want to blow you guys' head off.
Cruising through
Here,
the
watch. Let me turn it up. Let me turn it up.
Turn
How's
it
that?
up,
Check
son.
1 2. Check 1 2. Check
Turn
1
it
2.
up, son.
Got a blazer Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for
Let
the
me check
haters.
this.
Cruising through the day, no
It's
stress
coming in hot. I mean,
inside.
I'm
Keep my
like
circle
peaking when I
small
do
and
that.
my
I don't want to
vision
be
real
peaking.
tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating
Yeah, I don't
good,
know. That's
you
as loud as I
tell
can
by my
make
belly.
it come
I'm
in.
smoking
So
on that strong again. I think I got the munchies.
I don't know. Wait, does this sound quiet to you guys?
Fine to me.
Okay, Donnie Baker's saying it's
Sounds
it's
good to
quiet.
me.
It's really
my
low
chat-
volume. It's about half of what your voice is. I mean, that makes sense.
I'm gonna reload this.
I can do this, and I can do this. Is that better? Check 1 2. Buckle my shoe. Or did I get quiet now?
Got a blazer Ave, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day,
What do you
no
guys think?
stress
That sound
inside.
good?
I mean, I'm cool.
Nope.
But
Okay.
I
Nope,
guess
as
I
in
have
it's
low- I
quiet
guess I
or
have low
what?
standards, I guess. I don't know.
Help me out with more than a nope.
Ask the
What is
question
it?
again.
Quiet? Is it loud? Is it what?
Yes.
Your voice is lower too. Well, I turned my voice down. That's all I did. It's peaking, bro. It's coming in as loud as it possibly
Yeah.
can come in. It can't come in any louder. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, I could just bump it on the gain. I don't want to fuck up the signal though. Let me try
I think
this.
you
Let me
need
try
to
this.
adjust the EQ.
There you go. All right. All right.
We gonna be alright.
That's like boosted at the preamps. Let's see.
Haters, no love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no
Turn
stress
my voice up,
inside.
okay.
Keep my circle small
You
and
got
my
it,
vision
sir.
real tight.
Check
Put my
1 2.
soul
Check
in the
1 2.
sound
Hey.
so the people feel it. Bounce to the beat, don't hide that feeling. And I'm eating good.
That looks like
you
it's
can
coming in
tell by
harder.
my belly. I'm smoking on that strong again.
What do you think? That get louder, everybody? Yes,
It's
no,
better.
maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Check, 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 check. Maybe it's me. It might be you. I don't know. I got it real fucking loud now.
Yeah, sounds fine.
I
to
just
me.
don't want it to be peaking. What'd you say, Aim?
Everything sounds fine to me.
All right, word.
Ready for the day.
Well, I don't want to
Gotta
ruin the
blaze
levels.
a
See, it sounds like it's gaining out now. Shitty ass focus rate.
Problem.
Yeah, it's
Your
not
words,
helping. Well, it's coming in at line level, so I don't know. Like, if on OBS, it's literally peaking right now, so I don't know. I think this is a school issue. Because I'm looking at the mic on school, and it's, like, not super hot on the mic on school. I don't know. Whatever, as long as everybody can hear, it's all good. So, anyways, let's do another one. Let's do another Seek and Destroy real quick.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a Ave. Say hi to the haters.
So, I'm
No
hearing
love for
another
the
one
haters.
around,
Cruising through the day,
I don't
no
know.
stress.
I don't fucking know. I would guess around 600. It's like, it sounds like the first one that we heard, but just lower. And no worries, Donnie. We'll figure it out. I appreciate you letting me know. I'll just have to watch it after and adjust. Well, we learning on the fly. Fuck it.
Ready for the day. Gotta
I can already
blaze a
hear
Ave.
that's
Say hi
something
to
I
the
don't like.
haters. No love for the haters.
Let's hear it in context.
Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people
So,
feel
like,
it.
real quick, what I'm hearing in this area right here, I'm not really hearing any major issues.
Ready
Right
for
here.
the day. Gotta blaze a Ave. Say hi to the haters. No love for the
Like,
haters.
I'm hearing low,
No stress inside.
but I'm not hearing a shit ton of, like, issues.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a Ave. Say hi to the haters.
Right around there, I'm hearing some wub wub that I don't like.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a Ave.
I don't even hate that. I'm going to keep going.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a Ave.
That I don't like. You hear that?
Ready for the day. Gotta
You guys hear that?
ready for the day.
I'm trying to, like, sing what I'm hearing.
Ready for the day. Gotta blaze a Ave. Say hi to the haters. No love for that.
You guys hear that?
Yeah,
Somebody
sounds
give me
like
a 1 in
they're,
the chat if you can hear that.
It sounds like they're like sinking into their hands, like cupping their hands.
Yeah, literally, it sounds like this. That's exactly what it sounds like. I can hear that frequency when I do that. That's crazy. Good call on that.
You're welcome.
Can anybody else hear that shit?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to kick it. Nah, a little bit, but nothing too
Okay,
crazy.
I appreciate that. Let me do it even more.
No, you're good. I was saying no.
Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters.
Oh, now it's crazy. Yeah, no.
You hear that shit, right?
Yeah, that was insane. But no, I was saying it was good before. I was saying like I guess you. Yeah, no, it's straight.
Sounds like they're singing.
But I'm saying, can you hear that? Can you hear that frequency that I'm like really exaggerating?
Yeah, when you did that, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Z,
Perfect.
Change it to a bandpass filter on the type towards the bottom.
Why?
Just like isolate the frequency better. Show it only that frequency.
Now you can band pass it.
Oh, I don't want to do that though.
Okay.
Because then we're gonna. I mean, we can do it just to hear what it sounds like, but yeah, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna help for what we're doing. It's gonna confuse me.
Okay.
But that's gangster. That's gangster shit. I honestly don't even do that, so that's gangster. I didn't even know you could do that like that. That's clutch. And you can do that with any of them. If I just do the same thing, if I do.
Right click anything anywhere.
That's pretty cool. So you can do them at both. That's cool. All right. Anyways, so. The thing is, I want to, it's like the whole mixing thing. Like, I don't want to hear it in isolation because, like, this is kind of what we need to practice. It's hard to hear this shit, especially it's hard to hear it in context. It all blends together. So, I just want to practice, actually hearing it in context, which is challenging. So, all right, let's try one more time. All right, so Nico, you can hear that shit, right? Let's try one more time.
Ready for the day.
So without it?
Gotta blaze a haze. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the
That's
day.
with it.
No stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my
You hear how it gets that? Whoop, 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 whoop?
I mean, it would hiccup for a bit, right? It went. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard that. I don't know if that was just my.
No hiccups. So I'm talking about the overall sound of the whole vocal, not like any specific moments.
Okay, I was.
Does
just
that make
saying,
sense?
Yeah. I don't. Yes, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
What are you asking me? What is the question?
I'm trying to ask if you can hear the EQ changes that we're making, and if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
that's all I'm asking. That's all we're doing. We're just doing EQ right
I
now.
got you, man. Sometimes I don't know exactly what the part we're focusing.
No, you're good.
on.
You're good. We're practicing the seek. I'm trying to explain the seek and destroy and how to use it, and just like an example of how to use
I've kind of had a understanding. I mean, at least I think of it. For a bit now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure everybody's tracking what I'm
I
saying,
get
so
it.
everybody can follow along.
That, man. No, it's good.
No, you're good.
Everybody
So,
have it, because sometimes you gotta drill shit in, and
that's what we're doing. Yep.
Bro.
Yes, sir. So so everybody can hear what I'm doing.
get ready for the day. Gotta blaze a haze. Say hi to the haters. No love for the haters.
You guys hear that? Whoop whoop. Everybody hear that? I want to make sure everybody can hear that. I don't know if you're with us, Meek.
I heard it.
Okay, Donald can hear it.
Yeah.
Is Meek still with us? I think Meek dipped. Oh no, he's here. Cool.
What kind of flower pot are you using?
What kind of flower pot am I using?
It sounds like he's singing into a flower pot.
Oh yeah, no, that is exactly what it sounds like.
I know.
Probably ceramic. Yo, Meek, you still there, bro?
That's why I
All
said
right, we'll
it.
keep going. This
I
is
know he was
answering his
talking in
question,
the
so I just
chat.
want to make sure. He might be busy. It's cool. I just want to make sure I'm answering his question if he's here. But if he got busy, no worries. Okay, so I don't want to hold everybody up. So let's hear that. Okay, so we got the wub wub, and we're gonna cut it down. That's simple.
No love for the haters. Cruising through the day. No stress inside.
And then what's cool is sometimes you can boost the whole thing just a little bit. Since we cut some of that energy, I'm gonna bring it a little bit back. I'm just gonna listen and see if that sounds good like that. Let's listen before. After. I think that sounds a lot better.
Gotta blaze a haze, say hi to the haters, no love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle.
Boom. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So this vocal isn't totally screwed, so there's not too much we had to do to it. But yeah, that's pretty much my process, dude, is I'll cut a little bit, things that I don't like, and I'll boost a little bit, things that I do like. And we can get into additive and reductive if you guys want, which is the next step. But I don't want to overload anybody. I kind of just want to make sure the overall concepts are making sense to everybody. so far. So,
Yeah,
what do you think,
I mean,
Donald?
I'm
This is your
all-
first day with EQ ever, so I want to make sure Donald's on board.
Sorry, I was just talking with my brother. Ask the
You're good.
question again.
What do you think, bro? Does that kind of make sense? Oh, I think he's still talking to his brother. So cool.
Real quick, Z, can you?
What's up, player?
I just want to hear something with this vocal because it's
Sure.
interesting vocal. Can you add like a boost on with the band like between 2.5 and 3.5K?
Yeah, sure.
They gotta blaze an A, say hi today.
Let me do something real quick here. So, let's while we're doing this, let's explain additive and reductive at the same time.
Perfect.
So, very often what I will do is I will have one EQ that is like taking away stuff, and then I'll have a second EQ that's adding stuff. So, like sometimes I'll do it all in one, depending on like if it's not that crazy, but like let's say we want to get a little crazier. So boom, this is cutting out stuff, and then we'll put another one. So this is the reductive, this is reducing, taking away. And then we're gonna have another EQ that's gonna add. So I'm gonna set this to default. And then Abe wanted to hear something like this, so let's try that.
They gotta blaze an A, say hi to the haters. No love for the haters. Cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the sound so the people feel it.
So if you guys notice, like I almost always do that. I'll like put it a little bit too high, a little bit too low, and kind of find that sweet spot, which is how I dial it in. So what do you think? Does that sound better to you, Abe?
A little.
Gotta blaze an A, say hi to.
What's that?
I said a little.
Word. And that frequency right there is a really important frequency. I've heard this taught to people as like the vocal diction frequency. So like if this frequency is muddied, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to hear like the actual pronunciation of words and stuff like that. So this is a really common one that people will boost right here. So good one on Abe, dude.
Yeah,
So, man. I mean, that's.
I know it as
Go
the
ahead.
telephone frequency. The telephone frequency. That's what telephones are tuned to. Like just that area to have clarity.
I didn't even know that. What, like 2 to 3 specifically?
Yeah.
Phones
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
So that's interesting because I wanted to talk about the phone effect and I almost missed it. So this is a good time to cover that. So remember how earlier when we were talking about the underwater effect is basically just like cutting all the highs away?
Gotta blaze an A, say hi to the haters. No love for that.
Sounds like he's in a port. Because like you're basically that's what you're doing. You're cutting all the high frequencies, so it sounds like he's underwater. So we're gonna do basically the opposite. We're gonna make a cell phone effect. And so what Abe is saying is that the main cell phone frequencies are like right in this area. So, and we could do a bandpass. But just because I want to just keep it super simple without even having to click anything. I just want to show you guys like the most basic. You just drag this over here. You just drag that over there. You just made your own ghetto bandpass, and it's not ugly, or it's not pretty, it's ugly, it's not perfect, but that's the concept, right? Is that boom, we're isolating, we're getting rid of the lows, we're getting rid of the highs, and now it's going to sound like a cell phone because it's what a cell phone sounds like.
Haters cruising through the day, no stress inside. Keep my circle small and my vision real tight. Put my soul in the
Radio,
sound.
cell phone, yeah.
Radio cell phone effect, right? Exactly.
Yeah. I actually tried that. I did not as good as that though. And looking forward to never looking back.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, like Pink Floyd, I remember in "Wish You Were Here," like starts with this like.
That's exactly what
Totally.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Lou.
I know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So really good example of how like, you know, you might even if you took Lou's methodology of like I want to get the EQ of the vocal correct in the first place and just not need to EQ, which if you have the ability to control the recording situation, like I have no fucking arguments with that. But even putting that to the side, there's almost always a place for just like fun effects that are cool. Like who doesn't like a cool cell phone effect? Like especially in songs that are like about calling somebody or whatever. Like my girlfriend's only feature on any of my songs is like her saying hello with like a radio effect like that. And it's hard, makes the whole song. So
Yeah, but production and mixing are not the same thing.
that's true. Yeah. So okay. So what did we cover? We covered frequency. We covered highs.
You cut out again.
Like the very bass. Cut out again.
You're cutting out. Your mic's
Am I
going
cutting
deep.
out for everybody?
Yeah, I can hear it on my end.
ZZ Top, it is true.
Man, I don't know why.
Yeah, you sound like a clinker.
OBS dropping out on you.
That's racist, bro. Dude, I think it's because it's clipping, man. I think it's because it's clipping.
It's a bandwidth issue.
I gotta figure this shit out. Yeah, it's a
Could be.
bandwidth issue. There you go.
I
I highly doubt it's a bandwidth thing, man.
No, not like bandwidth as in
stupid
Q,
internet.
like bandwidth as in broadcast bandwidth.
OBS
highly
does
doubt it.
not play well with anything.
It's 'cause I have like stupidly expensive internet. They're charging me an arm and a leg for the. Does it sound better now? Check 1 2 check 1 2 check 1 2. Hello. Hello.
Donnie dipped out.
Technical difficulties.
You sound clear on my end.
Whoa, that was nuts.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but
that microphone. I don't know whose that was. Donald.
it might be school. I'm honestly kind of thinking like
it's
maybe
my
YouTube
school.
would be a better
School
platform
kinda-
for these, but
I mean,
'cause it
school
seems
is
like
it?
the school thing is a little janky, man.
It's. I don't know if it's.
I
mean,
found out that school
I
is
don't know.
actually the background of Zoom is the background of school, so it's actually Zoom.
Yeah, you were saying that, man.
No, it's Google
Okay.
You
Meet.
were saying that.
like they
I
use
logged
the
into
same-
school not too long ago, and my Zoom did this weird backup, spinning this, that, and the other when I logged in the other day, which I normally don't see. And the Zoom in the background of my computer popped up when I was logging into school. So I am suspecting you're using the Zoom platform, and they are channeling.
to watch our shit.
No, they're just
Probably
using.
just so they don't have to build it from scratch. You know what I mean?
No, it uses it's using Google
using
Meet.
an API. Yeah, they're using an application layer,
Yeah.
and they're
I don't know.
just buying Zoom.
It's
All I
Google
know
Meets
is
because
it's a
I
little bit
use
jank.
Google Meets all the time, and it's exactly the same as Google Meets. I'm not even joking.
Tis a little bit jank-a-lank.
Well, let me tell you something. They both suck equally, so they're probably the same.
So okay, well I'm gonna do my little spiel and hopefully it doesn't cut out again. We'll see. We'll see how it
You're
goes.
good right now.
But yeah, man. So we learned what hertz are. We learned lows, mids, and highs. We learned the basics of how to use the re-EQ. We showed some examples of seek and destroy of how to get like troublesome frequencies out of there. We showed the basics of. I mean, that's really it, pretty much. We didn't really
Sometimes
show
I
too
feel
much
like-
actual mixing in the whole track because that can get a little crazy, man. But we could do that. So I don't know. So before I cover anything else, before we call it for the day or anything like that, if anybody has any questions, now would be the time to ask any questions, man.
Sometimes I feel like the hardest thing is like what did you learn a new program and you try to have to find like where everything's at, like
For sure.
you just talked about. Like, so I was gonna ask, is there like multiple types of EQ? Like, is there like, because I
Yeah.
saw you had 2 different EQs and then like,
Yes.
so there's
a
multiple
shit
different.
ton.
Okay, I figured there was, and I was just
Yeah, there's a shit ton.
and I'm guessing we're gonna learn about that later. But
So
like,
if you right
yeah.
now, if you go in the classroom and you go to Mix 201, there's
Okay.
a super fucking detailed. I mean, I could show you guys real quick if you want. I
Yeah,
don't know if everybody
well,
has.
no, I was
since know
more
everybody
just-
doesn't have access.
yeah.
Well, here, let me show you because it's the answer to your question, and we can go through it. Real
And the
quick.
order we did it in tonight, would you suggest if you were just like, hey, I'm gonna record it like home and try to mix my own stuff, would you do that in that order, or were we just going through the most simple stuff? And, like, I'm just
This
curious.
is like literally the bare basics. So what
So,
the way
okay.
I'm looking at these classes, man, is I want to put you guys on like the absolute basics. So like
yeah.
EQ. So like next week we'll do compression.
Mhm.
Week after that we'll probably do like ambience, which would be like reverb.
Oh, all right, I got it. All right. I
and
like
then
this.
like I don't
This
know.
stuff.
We might do some like saturation bullshit. We might just go right into mixing. So once you guys get like the basics, what I want to do next is I want to go into like walking through a whole mix basically.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think it would be a lot easier to get through a whole mix if you guys like know, like when I say mids, highs, when I say like like I just want you guys to like have some fucking context for what we're talking
Yeah.
about. And I know you guys, it's like you've been in the studio. It's not like you have no fucking idea. But I just feel like it'd be easier to get
Terminology
figured
is
out,
just a big thing. Sometimes it's
Right.
like it's one of the things that can just we'll know exactly what we're talking about, but it just gets lost in translation. Like,
right, exactly.
Like, even
so boom, if
eras,
you come over
bro.
here, dude, to mixing 201, it's on like the second page. And then you go to EQ.
yeah, all right. Oh yeah, there's all types. Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows you, and then if you go to types right here, it'll go like more into detail. So I'm gonna be straight up with you, bro. I didn't really pay that much attention. These guys are like way more into like the nitty gritty of like knowing the specific ins and outs of plugins and VSTs and stuff like that. Like I've always been an artist who's like learned this shit secondarily. So like there's a whole world of shit you can go down, but there's 5 basic types basically, or 4 basic types. And most of the ones that we're using, like the Reaper EQ, is a parametric. Which is like
I was thinking like more like just like as a tilt EQ or something like that, as opposed to like.
Well, I don't even know what a tilt EQ is. What's a tilt EQ?
You pull up the plugin, you'll see it. You'll understand it once you see it. Ria tilt.
Okay. It's a setting.
You would definitely understand it.
You can tilt a high or low.
Oh, I type it wrong or something?
High pass, low pass, tilt, and all it does is it
or
shifts.
Just type tilt. I don't know if it's Ria tilt.
TILT?
Maybe they call it something else here. You never know.
I'm surprised it's not built into the Ria Q.
It's a JS plugin.
Well, there you go.
For the day, gotta play.
Okay.
So you have Pro Q 4 or 3?
Okay, so it's basically
it's like just bending the EQ one way or the other.
Yeah, so it's like if you go back to Ria EQ, it's like it's basically there's a line, right, the center line, and it's just tilting, up or down, making things brighter or darker, like as a general cue, and then you select the midpoint basically of where it's tilting at.
Right.
There should be it should be a setting there that says tilt in that preset under the Ria EQ. Go down that and look for the word tilt. It might be called something else in there.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even know about tilt. What?
Oh, absolutely,
when
man.
do you use that? Do you use that to just kind of gently shift like certain things, or do you use that on a master?
Yeah, usually
you guys use that?
When people send me a mix that needs to be mastered,
if something's like too bright or too dark, I just shift it.
What's fucked.
That's cool, because I do that shit manually, but this seems clutch. Like, it reminds me, I was literally doing graphic editing earlier, and it reminds me of like the balance hue.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Pro Q, it's built into Pro Q3 and 4.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm like tilting it to the high. It's like cuts all the lows out, and then tilt it low.
And then you can add.
Oh, that feels very. I don't know how to even articulate what it does to it.
I was thinking that my whole mix overall was like a little bit.
It's not even lo-fi. It's almost like.
It's like a seesaw effect. You can imagine a. That's what
Dude, you could automate that and do some cool shit with it too.
Yes,
it's like a strange. I would only want it named for like a certain part, like if of a song, if it makes sense. I can imagine a song with that.
Open up a web browser and look up EQ tilt, and that way you can show people on your video what it looks like on their. And I think that Pro Q has it built in, but just type in like EQ tilt graph under images.
Yeah.
And you should make a manual, a PDF of all the different EQ things. Okay, there you go, right there, that one.
Yeah,
that's
it's like a low and high pass or low and high shelf together.
See, there you go, baby. That's a tilt.
That's cool.
All right.
That's cool. So, like, remember earlier we were talking about we want an even balanced. So this would be useful if you know your shit's leaning this way, you can fucking. That's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. So
you could pan with that. You could do all kinds of shit.
Like, yeah, you could. You could automate it and get weird and like send some shit around and like that. Yeah, that'd be cool for like a.
If it was like a bridge or some shit.
Or like a.
Yeah.
Well, you can also do mid-side. I know we didn't talk about mid-side, but if you have something that's in the sides that's in a certain frequency, you can do a mid-side like in Kirchhoff. So if you have something that's in the sides and you want to just do it through the entire track, you could do a move it, shift it to the middle or the side, and then just put a tilt on the left or the right side. Say you want to clear let's say you want to clear like low guitar with high bass. And in your master, for example, you want to kind of make kind of a gap, right? Where you want to separate those a little bit. Well, in a higher end EQ, what you can do is you can select the point where you want to tilt it. Let's call it 200 hertz. And then you can go and then you can apply your EQ to be on the sides, right? Left and right channel, not in the middle, but on the sides. And then you can tilt it so that you can either add more bass to the guitar while removing some of the bass in a stereo track. That is where it is extremely useful, mostly in mastering.
That's some wizardry
the
shit
high
right
end.
there.
So like tilting gives you a little more room to work with, right? I mean,
It's like
like
brighter or darker.
Brighter or darker, like in a drum track. Someone sends me a mix and their cymbals and and all the stuff that I can't really necessarily fix it because they sent me a mix and I'm mastering it. Well, if it's in the sides and I got a whole bunch of a bunch of shimmer in the sides, well, I can use a side EQ and then tilt it to get a lot of the shimmer out without changing the entire dynamics of the entire
cutting it down the
stereo mix.
Without
so you can isolate shit.
All right, I like that I'm actually getting this shit. All right, cool.
Yo, real quick, Donald is saying. Donald is saying I got to figure out how to get my mic working for group talks because my phone mic kills everyone's ears. So Donald, if you just like only put the mic on when you're talking and don't have it right by the computer, you should be good.
That's fine.
Yeah, you just have to. What it is when the speakers like go into the mic, it fucks it up. So don't be afraid to jump on if you got it. Oh, there you go.
The issue I got is if I talk on my phone, it's picking up really loud. I want to figure out how to get my studio mic to work.
You put your phone like 3 miles away from your mouth.
Well, I was gonna say jump on with me after. I'll help you, but then in the in between time, bro, if you just step away from the computer just when you talk, it'll help. I mean, it's not even bad if you just mute your mic between you talk. It's not even bad.
It's just like you're like God, just kind of. It's like,
well, there's a volume.
I'm literally like 2 feet from my phone right now.
You are the wisest of the.
Well, from your phone, you want to be near your phone, but away from your computer. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But no, the studio mic, I haven't even gotten that work yet.
No, that's cool. That's fine. I understand. So let me explain. So like if I'm on my phone, but if it's near the speaker, then it's gonna pick up. But if I move the phone away from the speaker, then it'll be good because it won't pick up.
No, the phone's picking up off the phone's speaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You got that fucking amped up Samsung?
It's literally keying off itself.
You should be able to turn down your microphone in your settings in your phone.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even think about that.
What happened?
So that gave me a crazy memory. I used to, when I had the Samsung song, I downloaded an app that to like allow me to go past the safe volume limit on the Samsung.
Oh yeah,
phone.
I had that shit too. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's gangster shit. My shitty ass headphones. I was like, I need to push this harder, bro. Warning, you may go deaf. I don't care. So, all right. So I think this is a pretty good point to like wrap it up. I don't want to go too crazy and overload anybody, but if anybody has any questions, now would be the time.
I got a question. Oh,
what's up,
another one. Yeah.
What's up, babe? What you got?
I was gonna say, how would you, just for everyone, how would you know when you want to boost something to add to it, like how you boosted the top end to the vocal?
Good question. Good question. How would you know? That's a good question.
Yeah, I just want to see your take on this.
Me? My take?
Yeah, or did you ask me for mine?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah,
I thought you were asking the class, but yeah, whatever.
I was
it's
asking,
all good.
I just want to hear what you, or like, how do you know?
I mean, that's a good question. I guess like when I hear, basically like when it's not bright, like when the vocal is dull. I mean, that might be just like a caveman answer, but it's like when too dark, make brighter.
I think we make it more complicated on ourselves than we need to sometimes.
Yeah, I certainly do that.
But hey, it's fun. But yeah, no, like you said, just like that, make just at the parts, where it's like you said, a little dull or whatever. But yeah, it's cool that man, yeah, dude.
What do you think, Meek? Are you in here? I'd love to hear Meek's answer on that shit.
Yeah, Meek, I want
because Meek be mixing.
You got a microphone?
He does, but he's being mysterious. He might not be.
That's what's up, bro. Me and Meek were talking the other day.
I bet you he's working on some shit. He probably got bored and just started working.
Yeah, I'm mixing in the background too. Not gonna lie.
I love it, bro. That's what's up, bro. I'd be mixing too if you guys didn't have my fucking laptop on the screen. So, well, cool. Well, I think. What's your answer, Abe, on that one?
For me at first it was just because of references. Like, I'd mix. I'll be mixing. Then like, why does my mix sound like? Or go back to vocal example. Like, why did my vocal sound flat in comparison to something else? And I realized, they're boosting top end. So I boosted top end, and it's just to get it competitive on the against other songs that are being played, because everything sits in a certain spot.
Again, I keep saying this over and over. That is not the problem. The problem is dynamics. If your vocals sound flat, it's because you have EQ'd them, and they shouldn't have been. And you should have used things like saturation, compression. Is the answer? Because I know the answer because I've learned this, and I learned it a long time.
You're right. I think you're right, but I don't think it's the only way. I think them in combination.
No, there's not always or never. But in general, if you have flat EQ, that means that you are lacking dynamics. The only way you are never going to get something more dynamic using an EQ. I'm sorry, can't and will not ever happen, because that's true.
Real quick, let's all get on the same page, because you used that word so much today. What can you define dynamics for us so that we're all on the same page?
The dynamic is the difference between the low. A dynamic is the difference between the lowest point of a vocal as far as its VU energy range. VU, not LUFS, not DBFS or RMS. It is the VU difference between the lowest part of the voice and the highest point of the voice. It's the difference in between. And the balance between those. You cannot fix those dynamic problems within EQ. It's impossible. It doesn't work.
We have different definitions of dynamic. We have different definitions of dynamic. So dynamics, in my definition,
dynamics is energy. Not, you're talking about frequencies. They are dynamics, and
I'll tell you what I'm talking about if you let me finish my sentence, my brother.
Energy.
Hang on.
I can do this all day, and I can explain.
I know you could do it all day. We do it all day, all the time. I love you, bro. But let me just get my thought out real quick. So, because my definition of dynamics is any contrast in volume. That's it. Has nothing to do with frequencies. Has nothing to do with pitch. Has nothing to do with low and high. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's purely the ratio between the peaks of the volume and the smaller parts of the volume.
Nope, because that is linear. You just described linear. That is not dynamics. Dynamics is the three-dimensional plane of the entire track. You described what's called linear volume. That is DBFS or RMS. Yes, you did.
You're talking about musical. You're talking about engineering terms. I'm talking about purely in a musical sense. So if I'm a drummer, and I'm have an accented pattern, right? So if I have a pattern, right? If all the notes are the same, there's no accents. They're all the same, right? But if I have an accent pattern, right? The difference between the high note and the low note in terms of its volume is a dynamic range. Dynamics, meaning volume. In music, that's what that term means.
Even in audio, that's what dynamics means with
I know. I'm just trying to give him a little wiggle room.
No, that's not how it works. You're talking about overall volume, and you're not including all of the.
But that's not overall volume. We're talking, and we're gonna get into this next week. So y'all prep yourself. This is the magic of compression right here. Motherfuckers don't understand what it is. So
I know exactly what it is.
The dynamic, I don't know, but the dynamic range is the difference between the ratio of loudness. So if the accents are 4 decibels louder than the lower notes, and you have a 4-to-1 compressor, it's going to squeeze those down to match. That's what that means, mechanically.
That is correct.
Yep. So there you go, dynamics. There we go. So we agree.
Yes. But that is not overall volume. I can compress something and still add linear volume to it. They are not
that's
the
not compression.
Same. Listen, there's a difference between RMS, DMS, LUFS, and then also VU energy. They are 4 different things. They mean four
those
different.
terms, you guys. He's talking about measurements of volume.
Well,
so
many
RFS,
uses,
RMS, DBFS, LUFS, DBs. Those are all different ways to measure volume, and they all have their own.
They're not all
characteristics
volume.
and stuff.
No, because VU is not a measure of volume. VU is a measurement of energy. So I'm trying to explain to you. LUFS is a
I'm just trying
measure
to put it
of
in layman's
overall
terms for the guys who've never heard these terms before, who you're talking past.
Okay, LUFS. Okay, let me explain this to you. DBS is a digital indicator of a maximum of 0. Anything over or close to 0 creates what's called distortion. It is digital volume.
0 is
okay?
like the ceiling. You can't get any louder
That
than
is
0.
the ceiling.
So like
That's
when you
DBS,
see it on the screen right here, you see it in red. So it says plus 2.
Yeah, if you pull up a meter,
that means it's
we can
peaking
point out
above 0, which is typically not good. That's not what you
want. That is in the digital measuring field of volume. Okay, volume, digital. Okay, then you have RMS. RMS is the amount of energy at any particular point while a song is playing in that particular area, measured in decibels. It's a measure of volume. Okay, now we're going to move to LUFS. LUFS is the amount of overall sound, the wall of sound, the amount of energy in any given entire track, through the entire track, how much volume, the wall of sound through the entire track. Now, VU is a measurement of overall energy that is used, where in the lower levels to make bigger waves, you are going to use more energy. In the mid-range, where you are doubling the sine wave for every 40, 80 to 160, 160 to 320. As you go, there is less energy to create every octave above it. Your energy is half. So to make a 20 hertz sound wave takes a tremendous amount of energy. VU measures energy. If you're going to make the same tone or different note at 40, you're going to use half the energy that it takes for 20, and so on and so forth every time that you double it. They are different measurements that do different things. So when I am measuring things like, for example, compression and dynamics, I am relying on a VU meter because it is the overall energy in a specific area that I am targeting to get the dynamic that I want from a kick or a snare or a bass. Certain instruments that are generally mono in my foundation when I build things, but I want to know what the overall energy is. And I usually target about minus 5 dBFS on a VU meter of 0 to get all of my foundational components in. And then when I mix all the way up into the neighborhood of 9 LUFS, and I walk away from the VU meter and I mix everything in around my track doing that. That is how Grammy engineers master. I can guarantee you, because my mentor is a 5-time platinum engineer. His name is Kevin, the Black Pearl. He taught me this stuff directly, and it works. So you guys can argue with me.
To sum it up,
you're going to argue with
density.
a 5-time platinum, guy who teaches this shit at mastering.com, and they totally just rebuilt their entire system around it. You can tell me I'm wrong, but it's on you. It's not rocket science. But there is a difference.
Compression is very complicated, and it's very clear from this conversation that we all have different understandings of it, and I would argue that your understanding of it doesn't match.
There's no
My
misunderstanding.
understanding of it
Or
does.
mine.
Yeah, no, there is. There definitely is.
You're redefining
exactly.
You don't understand what the science is.
Everybody has a different era they grew up in, so they use different slang. It's literally
this ain't one of those
They're
things.
using
This is a math.
It's
This is a
also
math.
though that's starting it there, and it leads to this other.
This ain't
I
a
don't
slang
even know
thing.
what.
This ain't a slang thing.
Okay,
This
no,
is
but I'm saying
this is
no,
loose,
this is
strong
a whole,
opinions disagreeing with the consensus of mixing.
He was taught a certain way that his mentor taught him. You learned a certain way. Everybody fucking, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Nico,
but again,
I don't really know what else to say other than that.
The guy's not making
I'm tired
freaking
though, bro.
nominated
So-
music. It's excellent at at any level. I don't care if you play it in a car or your stereo or your boat or a mono speaker. What he does, and that's why I said when you're talking, oh well, your stuff doesn't reproduce. My stuff reproduces everywhere because I have a
Smelly Sue
system that
syndrome.
it doesn't matter where I play it. It always sounds good because I
So
understand
again,
how to
I mean,
build a foundation.
you can do a lot of things that are technically incorrect or correct, and you can get a lot of things to sound good. That's like what's really interesting about mixing. But I think it's really
No, but they don't
important
translate.
to.
You were
I
talking about the
understand.
translation.
Hang on,
You
man.
can
Let me
make
finish
things
my
sound
sentence,
good.
brother. Hang on,
you
brother.
can
Let me
make
finish my
things
sentence.
sound good with your system.
So, the thing about it is though, like compression is really hard to grasp, and I think it's very clear from this conversation that we have just different understandings of what it is and how to use it, which is chill. And I also think we agree on certain things, but like you guys will see next week when we break it down. Like I'll show you the way I understand it, and then like we'll go from there because it's complicated, man. It's complicated, and there are lots of people who do things lots of ways, and just because they do things different doesn't mean it's wrong. But I also think like I've experienced this personally with compression in particular, where it's like it's super easy to think you know what you're doing, and then one day you do it a different way and you have a different understanding, and then it's just like it's like holy fuck, I've been doing this wrong for a long time. And I've had that multiple times with compression. I'm sure I'll have it again. So it's just one of those things, man. Compression.
Well, did you have it with a different compressor, or did you have it with the same compressor?
Again, I mean, it's a whole wormhole we can go down, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot.
Z,
that goes into
before you close out today, can I give a big teaser for compression? A big exciting teaser.
Sure.
So the way compression was discovered was out of necessity during World War II. When they first started using radios for like calling in air support or whatever, or for artillery strikes or for whatever they need, they realized they can't hear the people on the telephone asking for whatever they need when bombs are dropping. So they needed a way to even out the levels of the bombs dropping in the background and the operator's voice. And so compression was
interesting.
Discovered out of necessity.
That's a fucking example of dynamic differences right there. Let me tell you, that's crazy. Can you imagine? Fucking, you're like, all right, the level's perfect, and then fucking.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with volume. Thank you very much.
That's totally
just
untrue. But it's
described
fine.
has nothing to do with volume.
That's completely false, but it's okay.
So they need to even out the sound of the bombs in the background with the operator's voice.
Is volume. That's all it is volume. It's managing the difference in volume. That's all it is. That's all compression is. But we'll get there. I'll prove it to you. Don't take my word for it.
But that's where compression comes from. Is from out of necessity during
That's
war.
interesting. I had no idea. That's kind of like auto-tune. I don't know. Do you know the story behind auto-tune?
No.
So it was originally a proprietary algorithm for sending sound waves into the fucking earth and then getting a phase pattern back.
Okay, yeah, getting it to like a certain area to where it's understandable, I guess.
No, they were using it to scan for oil.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's some crazy ass sonar program, and then for some reason T-Pain worked with the guy or some shit. I don't fucking know about that part, but that's what he says, man. He says that he worked with the guy and they like converted it into, like, it started out as some totally different like engineering project, and they ended up turning it into auto-tune.
Yeah, but going back to the compression thing, it's that's why like the old very old vintage, like the very first few compressors are like eight rack units big or 6 rack units big because they're meant to be in the backpacks. That's what the whole backpacks were for radios back in World War II. Where just like half it was a radio, half it was the compressor.
That's sick. I had no idea.
Cool,
and that's where the 19-inch format came from.
Makes sense though, because like a lot of that old like the shit they play in Fallout and stuff, like I've been roped to set the world on fire. That shit's all like super compressed, so it's interesting.
And that's where the 19-inch rack format came from too. Is from those compressors.
Where the what did?
The 19-inch rack format. That's where all rack gears 19. Yeah, because that's the size of the backpacks.
The more you know. I did not know that. There you go. That's cool, man. Yeah, dude, it's interesting. Like, there's so much history that goes into it. Like, a whole bunch of the effects we use today are just shit that the Beatles made up on one album. Like,
yep, the Neve 1073 came from the Beatles.
You know, they were inspired by Pet Sounds by fucking the Beach Boys, oddly enough. Like, it was like, they were like, I don't know what it was. I think it was the main dude of the Beach Boys. He was like, what was his
Brian
name?
Wilson.
Yeah, there you go. That dude. Yeah, it's Brian Wilson. And I don't know, the Beatles, yeah. I feel like, man, like that movie that's coming out, the Beatles, will be good for this fucking generation to like go back and just like hear some Beatles songs. Because you know how songs like always, when a movie comes out about it, like I'm just thinking it would be good. I don't know, like, and then people, like, someone will become the biggest artist for like that 2 weeks, but everything's a cycle in 2 weeks now, so it doesn't even matter. There's no. Sorry, I'm just all. I'm negative.
Oh, you're good. You're good, gang. It's all good, bro.
Fucking all misanthropic.
She's nice vocab, dog.
Izzy, are there any other things about EQ that you want to ask me or ask anyone else?
Nope.
Okay.
Not today.
Covered everything?
Okay. Not today.
Well, I want to go one more back to EQ. I just want to mention, like, I separate into 6 ranges because you talk about low, mid, and high.
Yeah, no, now this is a perfect time for that. Go for it, bro. Because I just want to make it real simple in the beginning so we can all track. Now that we understand the concept, now we can break shit down to that next level, and people will be able to follow you.
Yeah, so a great next step. So it's just doubling, halving everything, but almost in a way. So I do sub lows.
Mm-hmm.
I do lows.
Which is like the, and then that's like the bass, right? Is the lows
like 15 to 35 maybe hertz.
Oh wow, okay.
That's and then I just do low end, just sub lows and lows. Low mids, high mids, highs, and then air.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Word. Yeah, I would agree with that. Your low range is way more nuanced than mine.
Oh yeah.
I need to work on that low key.
Well, because it's just stuff that's like sub woofer specific, sub lows, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair too, like it doesn't come up that much because I do mostly vocals. But definitely when I mix beats, it definitely comes up. But yeah, I tend to have like just these massive basses that just take up the whole fucking low. So I don't do a lot of cutting because it's just fucking like that's what I need. I spent like a whole year just getting that shit full on this one song, and it was way too long. But now I got that shit the way I like it. It's full now. It was honestly just like car testing a million times and like just iterating. And eventually I got that shit. So it's the way I like it.
You know what you could have done?
All my shit from scratch, though.
You know what you could have done to make it so much easier, and this could be a good way to people to learn too. It's like
what's that reference tracks?
No, not even that. So I was gonna say you could have a laptop with Reaper on it with your thing, and have it broadcast to your phone like Sonobus or something like that, and then have your phone connected Bluetooth to your car. So that we get live like almost in real time with it's short latency, short delay, but like actually hear it in the car live with you. I just setting the low end.
For sure.
I actually have a Bluetooth thing in your car. Then you can mic up your car with another cell phone. Then you send it to your girl's cell phone, and she can do a 3-way call, and then mic it back to a burner, and then you can put it in here.
That's it. We're getting out the hood. That's it. We figured it out. Low key though, he's talking shit, but like that's the type of shit. Like
you're all nuts. Something wrong with you.
You're really clipping Lou on your mic, by the way.
Oh man!
Hey man,
I want you to set up a size meter to turn on my light bulb out of a subwoofer. I want you to send me a sub that turns on a freaking sound sensor to turn on my light behind me.
We can do it. I have Home Assistant. We can do it.
I have Home Assistant.
No, that's cheating.
Lou, you're really loud now. Like you're clipping.
Yeah, you're coming in hot, dog. Coming in hot.
Clipping so hot, I'm leaving. Some of us are going to make some mixes tonight, while others are going to go smoke weed and get drunk, right?
Which one am I?
Oh, I wonder if that was a little assumption about somebody.
Yeah, why are you being so negative all of a sudden and judgmental, bro?
That's kind of like, bro, everybody's been
cranking it up, man.
We're all here to work, dog. We're all here to work. Don't be a hater, Lou.
Like, you don't know anything about anybody's life.
I'm working with you right now, dog.
Well, I'm
trying to work. It's all right. He's just talking shit.
I know, but I'm like talking shit too. So, yeah.
Yep, I heard that. That's all you do. You just mirror the energy, bro. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Like,
Today
I'm
I learned
fucking
EQ
sitting right
good.
here smiling, dude. Like, I'm fucking.
Yeah, I love how much Nico. I love how much Nico loves everything because of how it's happening today.
Gabbing the natural. I hear you.
Oh shit. All right. Well, before we fucking completely derail this motherfucker, Donald, you got any questions, bro? Because this is a big reason we did this class was for you, bro. I'm gonna be real. So I want to make sure you're getting your money's worth, bro.
Well, a big part is going to be me going back and rewatching all of this video.
Word. Fast forwarding through the bullshit. No, but bet. So, like, basically, you feel like overall concepts are clear. Overall, what we covered makes sense. It's just like soaking it up and getting it in the bones type shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely breaking down the mid ranges and the low frequencies, but the high frequency.
Totally. And then now that we have that vocabulary, like now if I do a little video like how to get your bass clean or how to fucking mix your drums with your guitars or whatever, like you guys will have like a framework to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
There's a shared language.
Now we can get dirty with it. Yeah, it's very important. Very important. So, cool. Well, I want to keep it simple today. Fucking, we managed to do that mostly, which I'm super proud of because, dude, I'm not going to lie. It's like, I know it's easy to get kind of like, oh, man, we're doing too much. But it's like, it's actually just the nature of the beast, man. Like, motherfuckers really overthink this shit, and it's really easy to overthink it. And that's why, like, the way we're going to teach it here is just simple, steady. We're going to lay a piece onto another piece, onto another piece, onto another piece. And then by the time, like, we are ready to have these, like, deeper conversations, you guys will have your own strong opinions, and you'll argue with me, I promise.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, comment what you think about, comment what you learned or something that you'd like to share what they want to add to the topic of EQ.
There you go. Tell them, Abe.
I'm going to become strongly opinionated and argue a little.
Perfect. Deadass, man, it's part of the thing. Like, one of the biggest things I got from Rick Rubin, man, he's like, dude, I'm not a great musician. I'm not a great player. And I relate to what he's saying. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm decent at drums, but even in drums, I'm not great. And, but I know what I like. Like, I know for this song, I'm going to do this. I know for this, I'm going to do that. And, like, the biggest part that's a struggle and a challenge in music isn't learning the rules. Like, anybody can learn the rules. Anybody can learn the basics. Anybody can learn that shit. It's really hard to have, excuse me, it's really hard to have a genuine opinion. So if you have one, you're doing really, really well. That's actually a very good thing. So, and on that note, I think that's a good note, man. Good place to call it. I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. I'm going to cut the recording and go take a piss, and then I'm going to chill for a little bit. So if anybody wants to chill for a little bit, and if not, peace out, motherfuckers. Appreciate you guys. And then we'll be back next week. We'll do compression next week.
Fun.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you, Nico.
I wasn't saying nothing. I just.
Oh, my bad.
I thought I heard drums, dog. Someone was playing like some drums.
Yeah, I can't help myself.
Yeah, so that's all. That's all.
Oh yeah.
We're playing
I'm gonna go take a leak. I'm gonna cut the stream. I appreciate you guys.
All right, dog.
And we'll be back next week.
All right.